Our Father who art in heaven.
Our Father which art in heaven.
Hallowed be thy name.
Hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done in earth.
Thy will be done in earth
as it is in heaven.
as it is in heaven.
Give us this day our daily bread.
Give us this day our daily bread.
And forgive us our debts.
And forgive us our debts
as we forgive our debtors.
as we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not into temptation.
And lead us not into temptation,
but deliver us from evil.
but deliver us from evil.
For thine is the kingdom.
For thine is the kingdom,
And the power.
and the power,
And the glory.
and the glory,
Forever.
forever.
Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord.
For he is good.
For he is good.
And his mercy endures forever.
And his mercy endures forever.
Praise the Lord God of Israel.
Praise the Lord God of Israel.
For he is good.
For he is good.
And mercy endures forever.
And his mercy endures forever.
In Jesus' name we pray.
In Jesus' name we pray.
The Holy One of Israel.
The Holy One of Israel.
The King of Kings.
The King of Kings.
And Lord of Lords.
And Lord of Lords.
The one true God.
The one true God.
And there's no other.
There is no other.
Amen.
Amen.
Today's reading comes from Psalms 19. The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament shew his handiwork. Day unto day utter speech, and night unto night shew knowledge. There is no speech nor language where their voice is not heard. Their line is gone out through all the earth, and their words to the end of the world. In them have he set a tabernacle for the sun, which is a bridegroom coming out of his chamber, and rejoices as a strong man to run a race. His going forth and from the end of the heavens, and his circuits unto the end of it. And there is nothing hid from the heat thereof. The law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony of the Lord is sure, make wise the simple. The statutes of the Lord are right, rejoice in the heart. And commandments of the Lord is pure, enlightening the eyes. The fear of the Lord is clean, enduring forever. The judgment of the Lord are true and righteous altogether. More to be desired are they than gold, yea, than much fine gold. Sweeter also than honey and honeycombs. Moreover, by them and thy servant warm. And in keeping of them there is great reward. Who can understand his errors? Cleanse thou me from secret faults. Keep back thy servants also from presumptuous sins. Let them not have dominion over me. Then shall I be upright, and I shall be innocent from the great transgression. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight. O Lord, my strength and my redeemer. May the Lord add a blessing to the reading, hearing, and the doers of his word. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
All right, blessed Sabbath, everybody.
Blessed Sabbath.
And I always like to lead off, and it's always good to make it to the Lord's Sabbath day after a long week. There's a lot going on.
Right.
We here, so praise the Lord for that. Things are definitely speeding up.
Yes, sir.
So, the first passage today is called Watch What You Say. And basically I want to say, no, this is something that we all need to keep in mind and remember that your words carry a lot of weight. And then most times, if you can't control your tongue, it's going to cause your world to hurt, which I'm pretty sure if we haven't said something to offend somebody, someone said something to you. A lot of fights break out, someone can't keep their mouth closed, people get killed because they can't be quiet. But the Lord laid out in the Bible how it's best for you to control your tongue, and we're going to look at that today.
Right.
So we're going to start in James chapter 3. James 3, and let's read verse 2. We got it. Let's get to work.
For in many things we offend all. If any man offend not in word, the same is a perfect man, and able also to bridle the whole body.
So it says, so in many things we offend all. If any man offend not in word, the same is a perfect man, and able also to bridle the whole body. So all grip, James is saying, so look, there's going to be times where you will say something that's going to offend somebody. So you are blessed if you're able to not offend. I'm not talking about you giving the word to somebody, they don't what you say. We're talking about you don't piss somebody off because you don't say something that wasn't supposed to be said. So if you're able to do that, it says a perfect man, and you're able to bridle the whole body. What else?
Behold, we put bits in the horses' mouths, that they may obey us, and we turn about their whole body.
That's right.
Behold also the ships, which thou they be so great, and are driven of fierce winds. Yet are they turned about with a very small helm, whithersoever the governor listens.
So now it says, so mankind, we done tame horses. You put a bit in a horse's mouth. I don't know if y'all ever seen it.
Yeah.
Very small contraption. But with that, you're able to control a whole horse who's 8 times more powerful than you,
You
much
ain't
bigger than
lying.
you are. But you're able to ride this horse for recreational purposes. Same with the ship. I think about the Titanic, like big
Yeah.
boat, probably tons of pounds. Guess what? That big, as big as that boat was, it's moved by a wheel about this big,
Right.
nothing bigger. Behold, all the shippers, though they be so great, are driven with fierce winds, yet they are turned about with a very small helm, whatsoever the governor listed. Verse 5.
Even so, tongue is a little member, and boasteth great things.
Mhm.
Behold, how great a matter a little fire kindles.
So now, look at the comparison. Man can control a horse with a bit.
Mhm.
Man can control a boat with a steering wheel or a helm. But it's saying the tongue, this small muscle in your body, can cause you a world of hell, a world of hurt. Keep reading.
And the tongue is a fire, a world of iniquity.
Mm-hmm.
So is the tongue among our members, that is the fire of the whole body, and set up on fire the works of nature, and it set on fire of hell.
I remember just being a kid, like, there be times where I talk about my father for the most part. Because there be things where, as a child, I want to say I was advanced, but I saw things differently. Like, so, in my mind, he wasn't doing something right. Or he wasn't doing enough, or he's off. There's something I didn't agree with, disciplinary-wise. So he would do something, he'd be dead wrong. Like, I remember one time, he ordered them cheeseburgers. He thought I ate an extra one. I said, I ain't eat a cheeseburger. I ain't do that. He made it seem like I was wrong, which I was. And I had to say it in the manner that I did. If I would have kept my mouth shut, I'd be cool. But I had to prove my point. No, I ain't eat a cheeseburger. You tripping. I got in trouble. He was saying I got in trouble. But that's just one of the times. Even with my students, man, like, I asked you to do something. I didn't yell at you. I gave a solid redirection. If you would just kept quiet, you're straight. But you gotta turn around and say something. Why did I do that for them? That's now you're in trouble.
Right.
You can't keep your mouth closed. What else?
Right.
Verse 7.
For every kind of beast, and of birds, and of serpents, and of things in the sea is tamed, and hath been tamed of mankind.
So mankind, again, we're able to tame lions, tigers, bears, elephants, all these carnivorous animals at whether it be music, snap of a hand, a cracking of a whip. You were able to do this, but what can man do? This whole struggle is what? Verse 8.
But the tongue can no man tame. It is an unruly evil, full of deadly
So
poison.
the tongue is something that no man can tame. It is unruly and evil and full of deadly poison. I'm pretty sure if I said everybody raise your hands about something you done said to somebody that pissed them off, I'm pretty sure everybody had their hands raised.
Right.
At some point in time, we, especially being married, husband or just dealing with women, period,
Mm-hmm.
you've been on the receiving end of an unruly tongue, or you've been the giver of the unruly tongue.
Too.
And for the most part, and actually myself, back when I used to argue with my wife, just trying to like win the battle, man, I'm arguing, she arguing, it's pointless. And she'll walk away, and I gotta win the last one. Who walk away from? Now, part 2 of the argument.
Right.
But the tongue, no man tame, it is an unruly evil, full of deadly poison. What else?
Therewith bless we God, even the Father, and therewith curse we men, which are made after the similitude of God.
Yep. So you ever heard that statement? You kiss your mom with that mouth? You ever heard that before? Same thing. We'll sit here, I worship the Lord, praise God, praise the Lord, I love Jesus. You turn around and see his mirror, man, skip you. Man, go to hell. Like, the stuff we say, with that same mouth, that same tongue.
Wow.
Therewith bless we God, even the Father, therewith curse we men, which are made of the similitude of God. What else?
Out of the same mouth proceeded blessing and cursing.
Mm.
My brethren, these things ought not so to be.
So it says us out of that same mouth proceeds blessings and curses. You blessing somebody on one end, and the next day you cussing somebody else. After I was at Chick-fil-A, I think it was either Thursday, I'm just waiting in line. Lady in there, she was waiting for 20 minutes, just wanted ice cream. I get why she was mad. She was just unnecessarily spazzing.
Wow.
We've been here 20 minutes. I want some ice cream. Oh my God. She's like, going, it's amping. Then she's like, man, the fat woman, black won't give my ice cream. I was like, yo, are you serious? Over some ice cream. And then I think the mom was over here just, all the time, we so slow, this is ridiculous.
Oh,
I'm like, guess what? You just sat here whining 20 minutes. You still ain't got no ice cream.
Right.
So out of the same mouth proceed blessing and cursing, my brethren, these things ought not so to be. What else?
Though they fought and sent forth at the same place sweet water and bitter?
Huh?
Can the fig tree, my brethren, bear olive berries, either a vine, figs? So can no fountain both yield salt, water, and fresh?
So again, the thing is, that same mouth, blessing and cursing. So, is the water fountain give you sweet and bitter water? No, it's not. As a fig tree, gonna give you olive, it's gonna give you berries and other fruits. It's not. So us being the body of Christ, if anybody else should not bridle or control their tongue, it should be us. We want to be us. Read verse 13.
Who is a wise man and endued with knowledge among you?
Mm-hmm.
Let him shew out of a good conversation his works with meekness and wisdom.
So a good conversation of your works, you're gonna show your meekness and your wisdom. With time, you grow in wisdom. With this wisdom, you got to learn when to speak, when not to speak, what to say, how to say it. And again, you don't get it off. You don't get it automatically. It comes with time. It takes years to develop, myself included. This comes from somebody who don't talk at all, much. Still learning. Go to Proverbs 21. Proverbs 21:6, and again, we're going to build more on this controlling of tongue. Watching what you say. It goes past just speaking aggressively. There's many things you need to do to check yourself. So go ahead and read verse 6.
The getting of treasure by a lying tongue is a vanity tossed to and fro of them that seek them.
You got a lot of people they get treasure, they get this money, but guess what? You done lied to get it, right? So guess what? You done accumulated all this wealth, you done accumulated all this material thing, but you got it by lying. It's vanity. It ain't gonna mean nothing. On top of that, and you breaking the commandment of what? Don't bear false witness. The getting of treasures by a lying tongue is a vanity tossed to and fro of them that seek death. So you just out here lying, you seeking death. Because one of the commandments is you're not supposed to be lying. You shouldn't be bearing false witness. That remind me of the preachers, the Creflos, the TJ. Oh, just lying to obtain false witness.
You ain't lying.
Read verse 23.
Whoso keepeth his mouth, his tongue keepeth his soul from trouble.
And really, you can close the book on that. Whosoever keepeth his mouth and his tongue keepeth his soul from troubles. It's hard to argue with somebody, nobody talking back. It's hard to get into a fight if you don't respond to something. It's hard to not lie if you listen to a situation and just don't say nothing. I ain't saying you gotta be a punk and never talk, but pick and choose your battles.
Right.
I'm learning this as a man, as a husband. Pick and choose your battles. Every battle ain't the big one. Even the small ones, just like, you got it, you win. Not even you win, like, you got it, cool. Whoso keepeth his mouth and his tongue keepeth his soul from trouble. Read verse 28.
A false witness to perish, but the man that heareth speaketh constantly.
So it says a false witness shall perish, but the man that heareth speaketh constantly. So a false witness eventually is going to perish. You out here lying on people, like they do in the courthouses, like they do in like the government systems and whatnot. You getting away with it momentarily, temporarily, but it's all being noted, it's all being tracked. False witness shall perish, but the man that heareth speaketh constantly. Let's go to 1 Samuel 25. This is an example. And there's a reason why I'm going to this story of Nabal. Because for one, keeping on topic of the discussion, you gotta watch what you say. And number two, I want us to understand that as a man, the choices you make, the things you say, the stuff you decide to do, it impacts more than you. You can mess around and make a decision and get your whole family in trouble. So 1 Samuel 25 and read verse 2.
And there was a man in Maon whose possessions were in Carmel. And the man was very great. He had 3,000 sheep and 1,000 goats. He was sharing his sheep in Carmel.
Go ahead.
Now the name of the man was Nabal, and the same of his wife Abigail. And she was a woman of good understanding and of a beautiful countenance.
That's right.
But the man was churlish and evil in his doing. And he was a horse of Caleb.
So you have Nabal who has 1,000 sheep. He's 1,000 sheep and 1,000 goats. So he's like a business in a sense in Caramel. And his wife, Abigail said she was a woman of good understanding, so she had some sense. And she was good looking. I guess that's a bonus. Good looking girl, and she understands the word. Definitely on the winning side. Read verse 4. But her husband was foolish, though. We're going to see why. Verse 4.
And David in the wilderness, that Nabal dead to his sheep.
Mm-hmm.
And David sent out 10 young men. And David said unto the young men, Get you up to Carmel, and go to Nabal, and greet him in my name. And thus shall ye say to him that liveth in prosperity, Peace be both to thee, and peace be to thine house, and peace be unto all that thou hast.
Keep going.
And now I have heard that thou hast shearers. Now thou shepherds which were with us. We hurt them not, neither was there aught missing unto them.
Mm-hmm.
All the while they were in Carmel.
That's right. Verse 8.
Ask thy young men, and they will shoot thee. Wherefore let the young men find favor in thine eyes. For we come in good day. Give I pray thee, whatsoever cometh to thine hand unto thy servant, and to thy son David.
And so David, again, so David had his business in a sense in the wilderness. So, let's say David provided security for them. We watched businesses, we didn't touch them, we look out for you, we catch you protected. I'm coming in peace, I'm being humble about this. We touch you, man, we did all this stuff for you. Just pay what you owe. Simple. Like if I came to y'all, like, look, man, I brought at your house while you was gone, I walked your dogs, I did everything you asked me to do plus more. Back home now, pay what you owe. It's just that simple. And they didn't come on no rash, cool, calm, humble, collected. What else?
And when David's young men came, they spake to the neighbor, according to all those words in the name of David, and seized.
Mm-hmm.
And Nabal answered David's servants, and said, Who is David, and who is the son of Jesse?
Jesse, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There be many servants nowadays that break away every man from his master.
So in all the humility that David came was cool. Nabal, again, watch what you say. Man said, okay, who's David? Who is son of Jesse? Man, people break away from masters all the time. In other words, I ain't giving you jack, get out my face. Right? That's the approach that Nabal took. Read verse 11.
Shall I then take my bread and my water and my flesh that I have killed for my church, and give it unto men whom I know not whence they be?
So man, look, you think I'm gonna take my bread, my food, and my water and give it to somebody? I don't put this work in, I'm gonna give it to somebody I don't even know. Sight, you bugging. Go about your way. Remember, David came nicely about it now.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and read verse 13.
And David said unto his men, Gird ye on every man his sword. And they girded on every man his sword. And David also girded on his sword. And there went up after David about 400 men, and 200 of old by the stuff.
So man, like, y'all got a friend who you like every time you go out, like, look, man, just shut up tonight. Don't say nothing. All right, do we got that friend? Man, look, I think most of us got that friend. Like, man, don't tell who we going out tonight. Every time he comes, he messed the party up.
Right.
And we all got somebody like that. So in this case, that'd be Nabal. So basically, he said, man, skip David, I ain't giving you jack, I ain't paying you nothing, going about your day. So young men, they came back and told David all that Nabal said. David was like, okay, yeah, cool. Squad up. Everybody got their swords on. They get ready for war.
Right.
And David's about to come kill everything that pissed on the wall of this man's stuff. All because he wanted to talk crazy. Skip down to verse 17 and read that.
Now therefore know and consider that thou wilt do. For evil is determined against our master, and against all his household. For he is such a son of Belial, that a man cannot speak to him.
So you have one of the servants that they broke off and went and told his wife. He said, man, look, they came in, he came humble, railed on him, telling him, get up out of here. And now he about to bring evil on the whole household. We just read, we got 400 plus men and swords ready to ride on this dude. Now therefore know and consider what thou wilt do, for evil determined against our master and against our household. For he is such a son of Belial that no man cannot speak to him. Don't be the person. Don't be that man or that sister who nobody can speak to. I come to you out of love, you ain't trying to hear it. I came to you about a mistake that you made or going to make. You don't want to hear it. You crack the Bible open. You ain't trying to hear that because you a legalist. A cult member, you don't want to hear that. Yeah, I'm saying, don't be that person that nobody can talk to. Because after a while, they're going to start talking to you. At that point, especially when you need them and you call them for help, they ain't trying to hear it. I told you 12 times before. You ain't won it, so 13th time, I know you're not gonna hear it.
Right.
Keep going.
Then Abigail made haste and took 200 loaves and two bottles of wine and 5 sheep ready dressed
Mm-hmm.
and 5 measures of parched corn and 100 clusters of raisins and 200 cakes of figs.
That's right.
And laid them on asses.
Mm-hmm.
And she said to her servants, Go on before me. Behold, I come after you. But she told not her husband about.
So now Abigail's on the plans for
Yes,
say
sir.
everything she got. She done pack up some food, some wine, I guess everything you need for a party. And then she, in this case, made a smart decision. I'm gonna go after y'all. But I'm not gonna tell her husband though, because again, he already foolish. He might have come on with it, right? Unnecessarily.
Mm-hmm.
Read verse 23.
And when Abigail saw David, she hatched it
Mm-hmm.
and lighted off the ass and fell before David her face and bowed herself to the ground
Keep reading.
and fell at his feet and said, Upon me, my Lord, upon me let this iniquity be, and let thine handmaid, I pray thee, speak in thine audience and hear the word of thine handmaid.
So you see how Abigail came though, right?
Mhm.
Completely opposite of her husband. Hopped off the donkey and showed obeisance. So a form of humility. Said, Lord, look, don't let this iniquity be on me. Don't worry about him. I know he's tripping. What she's gonna go on to say, but going to show you the way you approach somebody as part of your conversation is gonna determine that reaction.
Right.
Go ahead.
Let not my Lord, I pray thee, regard this man of Belial, even Nabal, for as his name is, so is he.
Mm-hmm.
Nabal is his name, and folly is with him.
Mhm.
But I thine handmaid saw not the young men of my Lord, whom thou didst send.
Verse 26.
Now therefore, my Lord, as the Lord liveth, and as thy soul liveth, seeing the Lord hath withholden thee from coming to shed blood, and from avenging thyself with thine own hand.
And then on a side note, so notice how she's how she worded this conversation. It could have been, Negro, go home. You ain't gotta do this, but look, wisdom. Look, I know you coming down here, but don't avenge yourself with your own hand. That's a side note for all of us. Like somebody do something wrong to you, don't worry about it. As hard as it is, much you want to knock this brother in the face, much you want to just get him back. Look, let the Lord do it. The worst thing you can do is kill somebody.
Right.
And then that's a consequence for you. The second worst thing you can do is whoop, beat him up. All right, cool. Guess what? The brother's still gonna walk, the brother's still gonna talk, and you probably gonna have that same problem in your hand. The Lord deal with you, that's a whole different thing. And that's the thing today. Like people wanna, well, he did me wrong, she did me wrong. But understand the vengeance of the Lord. You just sit back and let it happen. Keep going.
Now let thine enemies and they that see evil to my Lord be as Nabal.
So she pleads the case. Read verse 32.
And David said to Abigail, Blessed be the Lord God of Israel, which sent thee this day to meet me. And blessed be thy advice, and blessed be thou, which has kept me this day from coming to shed blood, and from avenging myself with my own hands.
So, they ended up having a conversation, and then, Abigail said, when the Lord did with my husband, remember me. But the point being that she done saved the whole household, and then with her husband put that whole situation in, he couldn't shut up. Had to say something smart. I ain't paying you money, right? And it's easy to fall to this situation because men, you got pride. It should be slowly dwindling away. You should be dealing with it, but as a man in the world, you got pride, especially in regards to dealing with your house, your reputation per se, and woman. Oh, yeah, you proud. Read verse 34.
For in very deed, as the Lord God of Israel liveth, which hath kept me back from hurting thee, except thou hast hasted and come to meet me. Surely there had not been left unto Nabal by the morning light any that pisses against the wall.
And so look, you come out here and do what you did, you weren't gonna have it. I just want you to know that, right? That's what David laid it out on.
David was like pitch against the wall.
Let's go to Proverbs 17. Yeah, man, but I made that a point to show that. It's like, if you as a man, you can mess around and say something, get your whole family in some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Proverbs 17 and verse 4. Proverbs 17 verse 4.
A wicked doer giveth heed to false lips, and a liar giveth ear to a naughty tongue.
Yeah, this says a wicked doer, they don't give heed to false lips. In other words, if you wicked, someone lied to you, it sounds true. It's gonna sound good. You're gonna do it. Matter of fact, we all had a conversation earlier. How do you brainwash a mass of people in a congregation with something that goes contrary to the Bible? Because they want to hear it. It's really that simple. They want to hear it. It says, a wicked doer giveth heed to false lips, and a liar giveth ear to a naughty tongue. So, what is it? Company, what, real recognize real? That's what it is.
Yep.
Liars, deceivers, they rock hand in hand. Can't get away from each other. Go ahead and read verse 7.
Excellent speech becometh not a fool, much less do lying lips a prince.
So excellent speech or a good conversation, it says, a fool don't want nothing to do with that. So ain't no fool about to come in and talk Bible with us. They probably gonna end up walking out. That's what anything with sense. It says, excellent speech becometh not a fool, much less do lying lips a prince. So they ain't gonna do a prince or a ruler. Lying lips, they want that. They don't want anything good at all. So understanding this. I lost my place. I'm sorry, verse 7. So excellent speech becometh not a fool, much less do lying lips a prince. So you definitely don't want to be in the fool category. I don't know about y'all. I don't. I assume y'all don't either. So excellent speech or good conversation becometh not a fool, much less do lying lips of a prince. Read verse 20.
He that hath a froward heart findeth no good, and he that hath a perverse tongue falleth into mischief. He that getteth a fool good.
It says, he that hath a froward heart findeth no good, and he that hath a perverse tongue fall into mischief. So a forward or evil heart, you ain't gonna find no good. So ain't no way you gonna just stumble up in here, but okay, I got it. You rather be out in the world, on the beach eating crab legs, you rather be going listen to what TDJ's got to say tomorrow. You're not looking for what you need. It says, he that hath a forward heart find no good, he that has a perverse tongue fall into mischief. So get that tongue, that unruly evil that no man can contain. You got a bad tongue, you're gonna find your way to mischief. Whether it be a fight, whether it be you plot to do something to somebody, you're gonna be in the wrong somewhere. Go ahead and read verse 27.
He that hath knowledge spareth his words, and a man of understanding is of an excellent spirit.
Yeah, right? And we should be in that category. So he that has knowledge spare his words. As much as you want to say in your family, everybody ain't gonna listen to it. They're probably tired of you talking anyway. You just wasting your time. Spare your words. Your co-workers, same thing. You done came, you done brought it, you done showed it, you don't want it. Spare your words. Just zip it. Let it be. And as hard as that is, you got your Jeremiah, got that fire shooting up, but let it be. At that point, you get yourself in trouble. Alright, so he that hath knowledge spareth his words, and the man of understanding is of an excellent spirit. And personally, you know how to be quiet. You just observe and watch. You know who to talk to. Read the next verse.
Even a fool, when he holdeth his peace, counted wise.
Yeah, that's even a fool, a man who got no sense whatsoever. If he don't say what's on his mind all the time, even he is perceived as wise. I try to tell my students, like, you ain't got to say everything that come across your mind. You ain't gonna have no friends. Everybody going, I don't want to hang out with you like that. And now we live in this culture to where it's cool to be, real. I don't say the next word. But it's cool to be real. It's cool to put your mind out there. It's cool to be blunt, transparent, and it's cool as you think. Trust me.
I know that's right.
Even a fool, when he holdeth his peace, is kind of wise. What?
And he that shutteth his lip is esteemed a man of understanding.
So if you know how to shut your mouth, you're a man of understanding. And then a good example, every time I talk to Jediah, right, Brother JD, as I'm talking, he's listening. Ain't saying a word. As soon as I'm done, he'll make sure I'm done, and then he'll proceed to say what he got to say. Brother Elijah the same way. I'm talking to Brother Elijah, he don't talk. He listens. And once I'm done, he proceeds what he has to say. That's how we should be. But you're gonna go over that, be quick to listen first. Even with us. Sometimes when you listen, you ain't listening to listen. You gonna be coming over the butter in your head already. Yeah, I know you said that. I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna say that. I'm not gonna be this statement. Like, it shouldn't even be like that. It should be focused here. And we did exercise at my school one time to where you're sitting face to face with somebody. And as they're talking, you're strictly listening. You can't nod, you can't show that you're tracking, you can't show anything. You just sitting there, literally just looking. And it felt weird because normally you want to acknowledge that you're listening to somebody. And that's like, it was weird. It's still weird to this day, but think of that practice. You just sitting looking at somebody. Listen, it's hard. It's hard for people to do this. But again, it says, so if you not shut your mouth, you are esteemed a man or woman of understanding. And you always got to be the loudest person in the room. Let's go to Ecclesiastes 5. That's why I say, man, reality TV is so toxic, especially for our younger women, because that's the culture that they're being brought up in. Like, you gotta be the baddest girl on the block. You gotta throw hands. You gotta have a smart mouth. You gotta rebuttal against everything. That ain't how it should be. Ecclesiastes 5 and read verse 2.
Be not rash with thy mouth, and let not thine heart be hasty to utter anything before God. For God is in heaven, and thou upon earth. Therefore let thy words be few.
Now we transition to the conversation. Because again, watching what you say goes past men, it's with God too. Don't sit here and make a promise to God that you have no intention to keep. Or you just messed up on a whim. Man, yeah, I know I ain't gonna stop drinking Pepsi. I ain't gonna drink Pepsi no more. That's a binding contract when you think about it. Be not rash with thy mouth, and let not thy heart be hasty to utter anything before God. For God is in heaven, and thou upon the earth. Therefore let thy words be few. In spite of what we've been taught, I heard it before. Yeah, man, God, my homie, we talk all the time. What up, homie? Like, no, that ain't how you talk to God. There's got to be a sense of reverence there. And on top of that, you know what? You don't sit there and you promise stuff to God. Wake up one day, yeah, Lord, you know what? I got you. I promise I ain't gonna do such and such and such. No more. I'm done. The next day you turn around and break that promise, ain't gonna be no, Lord, you know I was joking. It was a mistake. It don't fly like that. What you gonna read? Read verse 3.
For a dream cometh through the multitude of business, and a fool's voice is known by multitude of words.
So a fool's voice is known by a multitude of words. Just someone always talking all the time. Got something to say. The loudest dude in the room, the life of the party. It's like, man, dude, ever shut up? Nah, talk all the time. Those, man, this, as I grow older, those are my least favorite people to hang out with. Like, dude, you've been talking for 45 minutes about nothing. Can I get a chance, Mom? Like, can we have a conversation? It's a monologue now. It's not a conversation. You talk the whole time. For a dream coming through the multitude of business, and a fool's voice is known by a multitude of words. Read verse 4.
When thou vowest a vow unto God, defer not to pay it, for he hath no pleasure in food. Pay that which thou hast vowed.
So now, let's say you have a problem. I know Brother Nicholas is out there drinking. He made a vow to God he ain't going to drink for a certain amount of time. Brother Jai had a vow as well, but it was problems that they were dealing with. So, just don't make a random vow with God. Like, there's something that you got a problem with, you got to put stipulations on it, that's cool. And even in doing that, map out what it is you're going to stipulate for yourself. Like, I'll use an example. Let's say I had a video game addiction. My thing was, okay, I'm going to play video games, but on the weekends. And I say, Lord, here's my vow to you. I'm not going to touch a video game Monday through Saturday. Not going to touch it. That's fine. Lord, I ain't going to do this. So the day I wake up, and it's a Wednesday, God understand. I play that video game, I just call myself to sin. Why? I made that vow with God. I'm not going to do this. That's why you got to watch what you say before men and before God. Because everything you say, guess what? Angel would jot the thing down. He probably go tell God. Tell Brother Justin did. He's playing Nintendo. I called him. He said he wasn't going to do it. And that hammer coming on you. Go ahead and read verse 5 again.
Better is it that thou shouldest not vow, than that thou shouldest vow and not pay.
It's better you just shut up. Don't say nothing, don't make no vow. That you make that vow and not pay. What else?
Suffer not thy mouth to cause thy flesh to sin.
So don't let your mouth cause you to sin. Now you make a vow that ain't even got nothing to do with sin as a definition, but you promise God you won't do nothing. Now you don't cause yourself to sin. Suffer not thy mouth to cause thy flesh to sin. What else?
Neither say thou before the angel that it was an error. Wherefore should God be angry at thy voice?
So it says, so don't say and go before the angel, it was a mistake. I ain't mean to do it. You meant you weren't high when you did it, you weren't drunk when you did it. Even if you were, you still made that vow. And the angel can't pardon your sin when you read that in Exodus. So now you just out here throwing vows randomly. That's a problem. And God said he's gonna be angry with your voice. What else?
Wherefore should God be angry at thy voice and destroy the works of thine hands?
Destroy the works of your hands, all because you done made this promise that you had intention to keep. Let's go to Proverbs 29. Proverbs has a lot of good things how to conduct yourself as a person. Proverbs 29. And let's read verse 9. I think it's something that we all can relate to. Go ahead.
If a wise man contendeth with a foolish man, whether he rage or laugh, there is no rest.
So what it's saying, what's going on here? So wise man, us, we contend with somebody who's foolish, don't want to deal with the word. It don't matter if we screaming at them, aggressive. It don't matter if we just like having a conversation. Like, what's up, man? You good? That same voice level. Ain't going nowhere. Ain't no rest. Cause you always gonna have to rebuttal. Always gonna have to say something. Always gonna have to come back. It's like, dude, you're yelling. I'm calm as me. Why? What's the problem? There ain't gonna be no rest. Matter of fact, I'll put my dollar on that. All of us in this room have had times where you don't approach somebody with the word, and you've been calm about it. Smiling. I gave you a verse. You said you want no more. Close the book up. They still contentious, still going back and forth with you. Ain't no rest. Cause now you gotta go on Facebook and argue with somebody. You gotta go on Instagram and argue with somebody. You walk into the house for family reunion with no intention on saying nothing. Oh, here come Brother Vince, hot pork. Like something like that. Just start an issue.
All right.
Go ahead and read verse 20.
11.
Cease thou a man that is hasty in his word. There is more hope of a fool than him.
So man, so the Lord tells the mouth of Solomon, so seest thou a man that is hasty in his words, so you just quick say something. Spit a promise out there. There's more hope for a fool than somebody who just quick with their words, quick at the tongue, quick at the mouth. My sister's like that sometimes. She used to be. She got a lot better. I just say something smart. You're gonna learn, aren't you? If you say something, we all get in trouble. We just all looking at her like, thanks. Now we can't go nowhere. Right? I remember when we still celebrating Christmas as kids, my parents didn't have money like that. So whatever they got, automatically you were thankful for it. So then we just ripping up the stuff. I was like, I don't really want it, but I don't say nothing. Appreciate it. We all got the memo. My sister did though. She was, what is this? My mom got heated. Almost on some heifer. You know what fall after that.
Right.
Heifer? Replace that word with something else. But my mom was heated. Just like on some, man, if she would have just kept her mouth, wouldn't have been a problem. Read verse 23. No, sorry, keep going. Verse 22.
And angry man stirreth up strife, and a furious man aboundeth in transgression. A man's pride shall bring him low.
Hold up. Am I on the right page? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. I guess so. Go ahead. Verse 20 again, I'm sorry.
An angry man stirreth up strife, and a furious man aboundeth in transgression.
So an angry man stirreth up strife, and a furious man aboundeth in transgression. Verse 23.
A man's pride shall bring him low, but honor shall hold the humble in spirit.
And so if you're an angry man, that's pretty much the primary cause of issues, whether it be in the church, whether it be in the streets, whether it be at home. Somebody angry, they'll come home just starting nonsense. I've seen that. But the most important piece is a man's pride shall bring him low. You got pride, as we all know examples, pride can take you somewhere where you even mean to go. And you know you ain't humble yourself, the Lord will do it.
Mm-hmm.
And it might be in the worst way. And I always say to myself, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. I don't want to sin because the Lord might bypass me physically to touch one of my children. And then I couldn't live with that. Knowing that my children are suffering, my wife is suffering for something stupid that I did. So humble yourself. Man's pride shall bring him low, while honor shall uphold the humble in spirit. So you honor, so again, you meek in spirit. Matter of fact, what the Lord said, the humble,
there.
exactly. He didn't say the pride. Let's go on to Luke 18. I was talking to my wife the other day, and I was like, man, a few years ago, I wish, for those who had known me long, there's a time where I'd be in a room, you know, I was here, I'm not gonna say nothing. Then I started talking a bit more as I get comfortable, but I was telling my wife, so I mean, over the years, I always wanted the qualities, so whatever I had up here just to say it, blunt, just far however it came out, didn't care. I was mad. I did not have that quality. Now I'm glad I didn't develop that. But who knows where I'd be today? I might have been built sometime. I don't know, but I'm glad I developed that trait of just saying whatever's up here.
Right.
So Luke 18, let's read verse 9. Luke 18 and verse 9.
And he spake this parable unto a servant, which trusted in themselves that they were righteous, and despised others.
So now, the parable, Jesus is about to go into these two men who are praying. And when I saw this, it kind of resonated with the class with me, because you're going to have two brothers. One who's just talking about what everybody else is doing. You're going to have this one brother who shows a sign of humility. Right? Let's read verse 10 again. Sorry, read verse 10.
Two men went up into the temple to pray, the one a Pharisee and the other a publican.
Uh-huh.
The Pharisee stood and prayed thus with himself, God, I thank thee,
Mm-hmm.
that I am not as other men are,
Uh-huh.
extortioners, unjust, adulterers, or even as this
So
publican.
now, so I want us to look at this parable because, one, we're establishing that the tongue can get you in trouble.
Yes,
And we're showing that just because you got a lot of words to say don't mean you saying nothing. There's a lot of people talk all the time, they ain't saying nothing. And then you have the two men praying here, because sometimes it's what you don't say that speaks volumes. If I sit here and matter of fact, I work at a school, right? I don't do holidays, as we obviously see. It's more beneficial for me to walk down the hallway. Oh, y'all sinning, you going to hell. I'm doing that. Versus me just not going to the parties, not helping with the events, just kind of sitting low. Because me walking down the hallway, shaming everybody. This guy. Versus, why Justin doing that? I wonder why. Again, it's what you don't say sometimes. Right? So now you have this Pharisee here. The Pharisee stood and prayed thus with himself. God, I thank thee that I'm not like other men are, extortioners, unjust, adulterers, or even as this publican. So man, I ain't like them guys. I ain't like him either. Verse 12, go ahead.
I fast twice in the week. I give tithe of all that I possess.
Mm-hmm.
And the publican standing afar off will not lift up so much as his eyes unto heaven, but smote upon his breast, saying, God be merciful to me, a sinner.
So now, you praying to God, right? For you, and what you need. What good is it to be like, Lord, I'm not like Brother Julius, man. I don't do this. I'm like Brother Terry, man. I don't do that, Lord. I go to church, I tithe, I'm nice to me. Like, you just running down your resume per se. You speaking all these words, but guess what? All them words, you talking about what somebody else doing.
Right.
Like, worry about you. And then you have this other publican who just humility. Didn't even lift up his eyes to heaven. Like, Lord, I know I'm a sinner. Have mercy on me. And you think, the one who said all these words, she'd be good. But it's the one who didn't say anything. Then I said, didn't even look up to heaven. Lord, I'm a sinner, have mercy on me. Read verse 14.
I tell you, this man went down to his house justified rather than the other.
Mm-hmm.
For everyone that exalted himself shall be abased,
Mm-hmm.
and he that humbleth himself shall be exalted.
The Lord saying, like, which one do you think was more exalted or more justified? It was a brother who didn't say much. Lord, I'm a sinner, have mercy on me. That's for us too. Don't worry about what you got. Everybody else going on, you run your resume, worry about what you do. At the same time, you were just doing that. Like I said in North Carolina one time, I used to go on Facebook and post like, y'all still go to church on this day? Y'all like, okay. First of all, you can post the information, but it ain't gotta be like in a funny meme. Just make it general. Because guess what? I'm not too far removed from celebrating Christmas or Thanksgiving or Easter. Literally about 3 or 4 years ago. So for me to sit here and just be like, y'all stupid, guess what? I was stupid too 3 or 4 years ago. And keep that in mind, because I think, not saying us in this room, but most of us in the Word, you forget where you came from.
Right.
You forget where you started. Let's go to James chapter 1. So James 1 and 1 verse here. James 1 verse 19.
Wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath.
So, every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath. And as you are growing in this word over the course of time, you should be able to listen first. Matter of fact, I think I told the story one time. I was driving Uber. Mom got in the car. She's like, yeah, I can't wait to go back to work. I was like, okay, cool. I'm happy for you. Go back. You still got it. And I didn't finish the conversation. I let her finish. She was like, yeah, I'm ready to go back to dancing. I was like, dancing? Oh, man, I had to sit here and congratulate her on being a dancer. I was like, man, she got out the car. I sat here and pushed this woman to go dance. So, be saying, be slow to hear. And be quick to hear, slow to speak, slow to rap. Because, you're going to save yourself a lot of trouble. And this is just me being a husband. Like, I had to learn as a husband. Sometimes, when your wife comes to you, it may seem combative, but it's all in your perception, how you take it. There'll be times where I'm not supposed to be wrong. Just listen. Listen. Don't fix the problem. Don't give suggestions. Don't give solutions. Just listen. And that's it. Instead of me listening, okay, all right, taking notes in your head, like, I'm about to say this, I'm about to say that. Well, because you doing that, you don't miss the whole conversation of what she's saying. So that's with anybody. Somebody comes to you, it might not be for advice. It might not be for a solution. It's want somebody to listen to them. So be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath. You don't mess around, jump the gun, and congratulate a stripper like I did. And slow to wrath. So don't be so quick to get angry. And I'm not saying like this is something that you're gonna develop in a month or so. No, it takes time. Remember, most of us, you dealing with 20 plus years of conditioning, childhood, trauma, growing up. It ain't about to go away in 2-3 years. It's a lot of probably takes double the time that you got it. So wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath. And if you can do these things, you're gonna save yourself a lot of trouble. Let's go to Matthew 15. Let's see where most of what you say is coming from. Because if you fill yourself with the Word of God, your speech definitely gonna show. And if you're not filling yourself with the Word of God, your speech still gonna show. Matthew 15 is a pretty famous place people like to go to try to justify eating hog maw, pig eating and whatnot, but that's not what the Lord's talking about. So Matthew 15 and verse 1. You go ahead and pick it up. Are you ready?
Then came to Jesus scribes and Pharisees, which were of Jerusalem, saying, why do thy disciples transgress the tradition of elders? For they wash not their hands when they eat bread.
Mm-hmm.
But he answered and said unto them, why do ye also transgress the commandment of God by your tradition? For God commanded, saying, honor thy father and mother. And he that curses father or mother, let him die the death.
Mm-hmm.
But he say, whosoever shall say to his father or his mother, it is a gift, by whatsoever thou mightest be profited by me.
Alright, so you got the scribes and Pharisees, they bugging because they got a tradition that you have to wash your hands before you eat. But is that in the law? I haven't seen it. Maybe I don't know, I ain't seen it. Yeah, it's gross. Don't get me wrong, it's gross. But you don't wash your hands, that's cool. Let's be honest now. Man, you eating French fries afterward, 9 out of 10, you probably ain't wash your hands. You just eat them, whatever. Alright, so it says, but he answered and said, so why do you transgress the commandment of God by your tradition? And this question today is a very valid one. Why are you transgressing the commandment of God by your tradition? The Lord gave us the 7th day to go to church and commune on. You pick your day. You do what you want to do. Where are you going?
And honor not his father or his mother, he shall be free.
Mm-hmm.
Thus have you made the commandment of God of none effect by your tradition.
And just reading this now, that's kind of on some, that's what the world does. And they find new ways to do it. Man got tradition out here, and then they attach stuff to that tradition. Well, we go to church on Sunday. I know what the Bible said, but we go to church on Sunday because the Lord resurrected on this day. No, he didn't. And we can prove that. Or, well, we eat pork because Peter said. Peter didn't say that. And even if Peter did say, what did God say?
Mm-hmm.
Like you put over what man put what man said over what the Lord say. Now that if it's in red, I'd rather go with that than what somebody else said. Go ahead and keep going.
Ye hypocrites, well did Isaiah prophesy of you, saying, the people draw nigh unto me with their mouth. Draw nigh unto me with their mouth, and honoreth me with their lips, but their heart is far from me.
So you can talk the game all day. I love God. What's that Eric Campbell song? I love God. What's wrong with you? You can talk the game all day. You can put the act on. You can play the game. But at the end of the day, you can talk. Say what you say, but if it ain't backed up by actions, it don't mean nothing. Because the Lord telling you in multiple places, people draw not to me with their mouth, but their heart, their mind is far from me. Or in that day, says, many gonna say unto me, Lord, Lord, did we not prophesy in your name and cast out devils? Lord gonna say, nope, didn't know you. You out of there, man. Keep going.
But in vain they do worship me,
Mm-hmm.
teach for doctrine the commandment of men.
So understand that though there's a high possibility that there is vain worship, false worship, that doctrines of men. Verse 10.
And he called the multitude and said unto them, hear and understand, not that which go into the mouth defileth a man,
Mm-hmm.
but that which cometh out the mouth, this defileth a man.
And you know, every time I go to this story, I like to read it in context because people like to go here and let's read verse 11.
Yeah.
Not that which goes into the mouth defileth the man, but that which comes out of the mouth defileth the man. Close the book. See, don't matter what you eat, brother. You can eat whatever you want. Not what defiles you. Like, just keep reading.
Yeah.
Because they think about it, because even when disciples were getting this, they didn't understand it right away. He had to go and explain it to them. Skip down to verse 15 and read that.
Then answered Peter and said unto him, declare unto us this parable.
Uh-huh.
Jesus said, are ye also yet without understanding? Do not ye yet understand that whatsoever entereth in at the mouth goeth into the belly,
Mm-hmm.
and is cast out into the drought?
And what he's getting into, so if I got like dirt, germs, paramecium on my hand, bacteria, all it's going to do is go in my stomach, come out back in. That's it. The story of life as we know it. But it ain't going to defile you though. It's just physical stuff. But what?
But those things which proceed out of the mouth come forth from the heart.
So now the things that come out your mouth, the things you speak with this tongue, they come forth from the heart. And what?
And they defile the man.
They defile the man. But how so?
For out the heart proceed evil thoughts,
Uh-huh.
murderers, adulterers, fornication, thieves, false witness, blasphemy.
So for out of the heart, out of this mind, proceed forth evil thoughts, murderers, adulteries, fornications, thefts, false witness, and blasphemy. So out of that mind, again, that mind's gonna show what you got going on. So I'm out here, you about talking about these things, murders, fornications, thefts, are you committing them? Your mind's pretty much showing where you at. Right? Verse 20.
These are the things which defile the man.
Mm-hmm.
But to eat with and wash your hands defile not the man.
So now potentially we're saying that your mouth can defile you, right?
Right.
You mess around, like me and Julius, I called Brother Julius one day. Hey, bro, you know it's sundress season, man. Like, we ain't gotta be having that conversation, though. We shouldn't be having that conversation. I'm being honest.
Right.
Like, us as men in the world, we shouldn't be having that conversation. Or, I don't call Brother Rashad up on the Sabbath. I know it's a Sabbath. But you saw the game last night, right? Like, we should be having that conversation, right? Or, especially, you know, against the murder, adulteries, the thefts, the false witness, lying, all that stuff gonna come from this mind. So again, you either talk too much, or your mouth can mess around and defile you based on what you're filling your mind with. Let's go to 1 Corinthians 14. Man, you just gotta be real sometimes, man. I ain't gonna lie, man, it's like before I found the word, that was conversations I had. Now it's kind of like, just leave me out the conversation. And man, your friends think you weird, man. Like you talking like your friends and other men.
Yeah.
And you like, I don't care. Ain't nothing to do with me. What's wrong with you?
Yes, sir.
1 Corinthians 14, and let's read verse 30. This is going back to the you swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath. Because you know, something, let's say we talk to a brother or sister, right? Me, two other brothers. Just because I'm up here don't mean I'm the only one that got something with the word. We all should be knowledgeable to tell somebody something. There might be something I don't know. I'm gonna shut my mouth. Julius might be able to expound on it. You know what I'm gonna do? I ain't gonna sit here. I'm the truth, man. I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna sit here and listen. Like, he's right. And then Brother Julius might be done. Brother Terry might got something to say. And we're gonna sit here and listen to him. Because the goal is to get somebody what they need. Ain't to be like, oh, I'm the chief. Ain't got nothing to do.
Right.
So 1 Corinthians 14, let's read verse 30.
If anything be revealed to another that sitteth by, let the first hold his
You
peace.
see that, right? Again, same scenario. We talking to somebody, giving them the word. If Brother Julius got something, scripture-wise, whoever else, be quiet. Let him prophesy. Let him say what he got to say. Hold your peace. When he's done, you might be like, oh yeah, I got something to back that up. And then that goes as follows. That's again, and it's hard to practice that if you always gotta be the one saying something. You always gotta be the one leading the conversation. You always gotta be the one in front of the pack. If anything be revealed to another that sitteth by, let the first hold his peace. Verse 31.
But ye may all prophesy one by one.
No, 6 by 6.
Nah, one by one.
One by one. Well, you all may prophesy one by one. So, one brother talking, everybody else just chill, relax. And that's hard, you know, we get a little puffed up in our knowledge and we gotta show what we know. But you may all prophesy one by one that what?
That all may learn, and all may be comforted.
So now, so that all may learn and be comforted. So the goal of us be quiet and chilling and holding our peace is for whoever's listening to you to be edified, to learn. Read the next verse.
And the spirits of the prophets are subject to the prophets.
Verse 33.
For God is not the author of confusion, but of peace, as in all churches of the saints.
So now, so again, the same scenario. Let's say Brother Julius is talking about how, we'll say, the Sabbath, right? Keep it simple. He's supposed to cook on the Sabbath, he's supposed to be doing this and not come in. Well, technically, you can do this on the Sabbath. Like, now we confuse that person. Like, yeah. Or matter of fact, we had a perfect example last week. The brother was out preaching, they got one brother to come in, so David was breaking down the Sabbath. He's left it on some, just be here Saturday at this time. And it got to the point where we almost about to be like, wait, the Sabbath technically starts. I was like, no, don't do that. Don't confuse them. Right? Just be here Saturday. All right, and then from there, then you break it down. But let's say that same thing, Brother Julius on, let's be here on Saturday, and I come in. Well, technically, Friday night is Sabbath, and once that hits, you shouldn't be doing this. Now he's like, okay, now he's all confused. Versus me just sitting there, shutting up, let Julius say what he got to say, and that brother be here Saturday. All right? So let's go to John 8. I want to see how Jesus handled the situation. It was cold, too. Y'all with me so far?
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna see how Jesus handled the situation. Again, sometimes it's what you don't say. So John 8, let's read verse 1. Go ahead.
Jesus went unto the Mount of Olives, and early in the morning he came again into the temple, and all the people came to him, and he sat down, and taught them. And the scribes and Pharisees brought unto him a woman taken in adultery. And when they had set her in the midst, they said unto him, Master, this woman was taken in adultery in the very act.
So now, we for the most part, we've heard this story before, but the law is if you commit adultery, the man and the woman ought to be stoned. So you're telling me you caught this woman in the very act. The man had time to put his clothes on and get away. But you caught her though. Unjust judgment. All right, let's see how the Lord will handle this though. What else?
Now Moses in the law commandment us that such should be stoned. But what sayest thou?
John tripping up. They got the woman here, but she committed adultery by herself. And what's his brother at? John tripping him up. What else?
This they said, tempting him, that they might have to accuse him. But Jesus stooped down, and with his fingers wrote on the ground, as thou he heard them not. So when they continued asking him, he lifted him.
I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. So this they said, tempting him, that they might have to accuse him. But Jesus stooped down with his finger wrote on the ground as though he heard them not. So he sat there, he said nothing. Right on the ground, pretty much ignoring them. I think that's dope. Let's say somebody come to you with, like, you know they're trying to trip you up. You just sitting there.
I finished.
Yeah, done. Like you ain't fall for the trap. Like Jesus did. They not tripping up, and he know it. He could have easily popped up and just went on a rant, a tangent, like said something, but he didn't say nothing. Just sitting there like ignoring them. What else?
So when they continued asking him, he lifted up himself, and said unto them, He that is without sin among you, let him first cast a stone at her.
See how simple that was? Matter of fact, when somebody approaches, listen to what they're saying, and for the most part, I think Rashad saying earlier, when people talk, they're gonna tell you their story. All somebody business, somebody lifestyle, what they're doing, you just listen to them. somebody comes to you with something, and they're either trying to catch you up, they want something, just sit there and listen. In your mind, like, okay, I'm gonna address this. Just be wise about it. And sometimes you ain't gotta say it that day. It's all right, cool. I'll talk to you later. And all the while, you might go home. Okay, I'm gonna, these 3 verses, I'm gonna tell them this. Come up with a better answer tomorrow versus you just sitting there, just ready. As soon as they're done. Proverbs 38 says, like, no, we be like that. Just chill, relax. Okay, bet. Got something for you. Like Jesus did. He sat there and all he said was, all right, cool. You ain't got no son, you throw the stone in. What else?
And again he stooped down and wrote on the ground.
Uh-huh.
And they which heard it, being convicted by their own conscience, went out one by one, beginning at the eldest, even unto the last. And Jesus was left alone, and the woman standing in the midst.
So no, man, he convicted him. All he said was, all right, you ain't got no sin on you, let him fly. Probably just threw him down. Just walked off. But see how he operates in wisdom. He said, what, 10 words, if that?
Right.
And that all to sometimes for us, all you gotta do is say a verse and let it be. What I look like hitting somebody who I just met or don't know about the word, I don't give them a whole me class of 10 verses of why they shouldn't be doing something. The third one I probably lost him. It's really talk too much. Or, oh, he must be one of them smart brothers. It's like, they automatically turn themselves off. Go ahead and read verse 11, just go.
She said, no man, Lord. And Jesus said unto her, neither do I condemn thee. Go and sin no more.
Because after they left, no, the Lord says, no, where are your accusers? You have any? She's like, no, I don't. He says, I don't accuse them. People like to go here. I remember, you address homosexuality. Jesus said, he who without sin, let him cast the first stone. Like, he did say that. And he told that women, go and sin no more, though, right? Somehow they don't read that part. Go and sin no more. Let's go to Proverbs 18. Last one for this class. Proverbs 18, and let's read verse 6.
A fool's lips enter into contention, and his mouth calleth for strokes.
You got that one person always talking. Guess what? A lot of people talk junk. They didn't punch them out yet, or something ain't happened to them. It's just again being honest. Someone just talk game, can't fight. Say like, listen, we know somebody. Just talk the game. Man, you bucky, ain't you? You trying to do that? You trying to do that because if you did, you would. Like my students be doing that. Man. Be like 18 feet away. Stop talking about we don't fight. That's what we looking at you. You ain't do nothing, come swing over there. And they'll get this close to each other and just be, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Going somewhere. But fool's lips enter contention and his mouth calleth for stroke. So that's somebody to the point people talk to the point where they don't catch one of them out. Read verse 7.
A fool's mouth is his destruction, and his lips are the snare of his soul.
So again, that same thing, a fool's mouth is destruction. That mouth's going to lead to his downfall and a snare to his own soul. Again, that tongue that man cannot bridle get you in so much trouble. Read verse 8.
The words of a talebearer are as wounds, and they go down into the innermost parts of the belly.
Or a talebearer, or a gossiper. Growing up, I never wanted a girlfriend or a woman who's just involved in gossip. It's gotta be somebody's business. I want to hear one, ain't got nothing to do with you, too. Like, just stay away from that. Even to this day, I can't stand women, just men. And men do it too, which is, I think that's bad little brothers. Just gossip. Who did this? Just all, there's someone's issue. What about you? Because more than likely, your business out there, you got a problem. The words of talebearer are as wounds, and they go down to the innermost parts of the belly. Kind of like, man, look, Brother Vince, my friend, right? This is my boy, my brother. And I find out he been talking junk behind my back, been doing stuff, I'm been hurt. I'm like, bro, for real? Hey, we're just going to catch these hands. No, I'm joking. So it says the words of the talebearer.
I heard that one.
And they go down to the innermost parts of his belly. Yeah, man, so like, I don't know, like, so for the most part, you hear the people talking about you, Even I heard a lot, but it's like, dang, really?
Right.
You couldn't say that to my face? Matter of fact, we in the same congregation. You couldn't say that to my face?
Right.
Let's get down to verse 13 and read that.
He that answereth a matter before he heareth it, it is folly and shame unto him.
So again, so just be being swift to hear, let that person finish the conversation. That way you have a whole understanding what they need, and then you provide that answer. How am I going to give Brother Tony the best answer? I start answering midway through this conversation. Oh, shit, man, I already know what you need to do. Let me tell you this. Like, I don't know, he might not think. He might have not even got to the most important part yet, but here I am ready to give him his answer. Again, like I did that dancer, I can list the whole matter. He that answereth the matter before he heareth it is folly and a shame unto him. And it is shameful. Because you're going to mess around and gave him something. Okay, cool, yes, I am going to steal it. No. Now, just told me to steal it. Now, here it is. Now, I'll tell you another story, man. I ain't mean this one, though. So I had to teach sex ed for middle school. And one of the students asked me what, I don't know if I can say it. He's like, what's chronic, you know I'm going at, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what's chronic, we'll say self-pleasure. Cool. So I explained what it was as innocent as I could. When you have to do that multiple times a day. Left it at that. Next, a few days later, I'm walking outside, and the teacher's like, yo, did you tell a student you gotta do it 8 times? I was like, no, that's not what I said at all. This student went around and said, Coach Jay said you gotta do it 8 times a day. No, that's not what I said at all. So yeah. So words in that aspect is taken far left.
You gonna have to.
I was mad. I was like, that's not even what I said.
You heard me.
I was ashamed. I didn't do nothing wrong. I was ashamed.
Right.
I didn't say that.
Right.
Verse 19.
A brother offended is hard to be won than a strong city,
Mm-hmm.
and their contentions are like the bars of a castle.
So now you mess around and win somebody in the word, but you out here offending them. It's saying they're harder to be won than a city that has like max security. Imagine trying to break into a prison. You ain't gonna do it. Promise you ain't gonna do it. And says their contentions are like the bars of a castle. You may get in. I'm offending somebody. I offended Rashad 12 times. He knows to forgive me, but at the same time, he on the back of his mind, like, nah. Gave him money one time. 11 times I fell for it, won't be a 12th time. Right? Read verse 21.
Death and life are in the power of the tongue,
Mm-hmm.
and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof.
So when it's all said and done, understand that death and life are in the power of the tongue. You can talk yourself out of salvation. You can talk yourself into it. I'll say that again. You can talk yourself out of your salvation. You can talk yourself into it. So death and life are in the power of the tongue. And they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. So man, look, you like to talk, you're gonna eat the fruit of that. If you don't talk so much, you eat the fruit of that too. So first class, watch what you say. I pray somebody got some understanding in Jesus' name. Alright, let's move on to the second one. The second one's called What is Sin and Where Does It Lead? And I was thinking about this on some you go to ask a majority of the people, you know, what is sin? What's the biblical definition of sin? Probably couldn't tell you. It's going to be something they heard, or what they think, or opinion. And then furthermore, if you ask them, what's it going to lead to if you continue to walk this life of sin? I'm going to heaven. Because the Lord, he died for all that. We know the cliche statement they make, right? So it's important for us to understand, and for everybody, that you just can't be out here sinning. No reason. Matter of fact, we can read, which we'll probably read anyway, that God cut man's lifespan because of sin.
Sure did.
You ain't about to be 980 years old out here sinning. You imagine that though, you've been dealing with a fornication problem for 800 years? Like, that's
Oh my
crazy.
God.
Yeah. Let's go to Romans 3. Hey, somebody say, anybody had no 500-year-old demons just walking around. Can you imagine that though? In the 80 years that man average living, what we do in 80 years? Can you imagine what we did 3 times that?
Good God.
Alright, so Romans 3 And let's read verse.
Check out.
Serious. Let's read verse 9. Romans 3 and verse 9.
What then? Are we better than they? No, in no wise. For we have before approved both Jews and Gentiles that they are all under sin.
This is Paul now, Israelite, telling us, are we better than the Gentiles? No. So Jews and Gentiles, anybody in the nation, they're all under sin. All got this body of death on us. So for us to sit here and be out here on the streets like we better than somebody, or to be angry at somebody, Jeremiah tells you, we taught the wicked ones their ways. So imagine if we were on a job, we would be in a lot better position than we are now. Go ahead and keep reading.
As it is written, there is none righteous, no, not one. There is none that understandeth, there is none that seeketh after God.
So understanding this, so a lot of people like to base off personal merits, but I'm a good person, I got a good heart, I help the community, which all that is good. But the Lord tells you, man, there is none righteous, no, not one. For all the good that you've done, at some point in time, you've broken the law. Again, for myself, when I'm outside, I remember I was kicking a softball down the field, then shooting basketball, somebody's hoop. It was fun. Still broke the Sabbath though. What else? I'm saying, still broke the Sabbath. All that time that, in college, when I just simply went to the mall or worked or rep the soccer game. Did I do anything wrong? I ain't killed nobody, I ain't steal nothing. Still broke the Sabbath though. Still in sin. Should have died for that. What else?
They are all gone out of the way. They are together become unprofitable. There is none that do good, nor not one.
He says in the same statement now, that there is none that seek after God. And think about that today. That's very few. The Lord gave the Sabbath to the Jews first, and then eventually everyone else supposed to get it. But the whole world, you call yourself a Christian serving God, you're supposed to be here today. We should be outside teaching class. That's that many people. Hotels should be shut down. Matter of fact, I was driving Uber Easter Sunday, dead, empty, nobody, nowhere doing nothing. I'm just like, wow. It should have been like this yesterday.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Their throat is an open sepulchre.
Sepulchre.
With their tongues they have used deceit. The poison of asp is under their lips. Whose mouth is full of cursing and bitterness. Their feet are swift to shed blood.
And it's talking about people in general, but I think about pastors, right? Especially when he said, their mouth is open sepulchre. It's great, just talking about nothing. And on top of that, just mouth showing the brothers there. Y'all know that guy who was like dancing to the Jesus Christ song, right?
Yeah.
At first, it was a home video. It was funny. And I was like, man, he's probably doing it like legit sincerity. Now, they got this man like an actual stage
Yeah, see.
doing it. And I was thinking to the pastors just in the background, make my money. He probably got paid that day too. They were loving it.
Yeah.
Cheering him on. They got the beat going. He hot blocking. Again, I think he's sincere, but the pastor's like, yeah, he's doing this, making money for him.
Wow.
What else? Verse 16.
Destruction and misery are in their way. In the way of peace have they not known. There is no fear of God before their eyes.
So it says destruction and misery in their ways, and the way of peace they have not known. There is no fear of God before their eyes. The world don't fear God. Can't. Not even possible, because there ain't no way you gonna. Matter of fact, I saw this article, man, and like I was telling brothers, a lot of things upset me. Especially when you're dealing with the word and you see what happened in the world. But when it deals with children, little kids, that's what upsets me the most. Because out of everybody here, they are the most innocent individuals on this earth. You got one parent over a custody battle, knocked his kid in the car, burned the car.
Yeah, I see.
Killed a little bit. I read one article, one father, I think he hit his little child so bad over a video game.
Yeah.
Killed him. And it's like, man, ain't no fear God. If you fear God, you wouldn't even do that. You wouldn't think about getting Sabbath. You wouldn't think about idolatry. The world don't fear God. But the scary thing is, they think they are. How you gonna fear God? You gonna tell him your qualifications, your specifications of how you gonna worship Him? They fear. What else?
Now we know that what things soever the law said, it said to them who are under the law.
And that's true, because if you think you're using the law to justify you as far as your salvation, you're under the law. If you break the law, you are under it, meaning under that penalty. But what?
That every mouth may be stopped, and all the world may become guilty before God.
That's right, and we are. at some point in time, like I said, you broke the law, we're all guilty before God. What else?
Therefore, by the deeds of the law, there shall no flesh be justified in his sight.
Also by the deeds of the law. So you can work, man, you can keep the law all day long to the T, to perfection. Guess what? No justification in that. Because you sin. That's like, again, me breaking the law. Like, you know what, Lord, I'm sorry. I'm going to keep this law now. It's too late. You tainted already. You're tainted. So the Lord had to come. So the death of Christ is what justifies. Does that nullify you keeping the law? Not at all. Skip down to verse 23 and read that.
For all have sinned and come short of the glory of God.
So not a few, not some, not 86%. All have sinned and come short of the glory of God. And this is for the ones who say you got to keep no law. Obviously, it's good. It says you break the law, you are the sin now. So you keeping the law is supposed to be to God's glory, right? Think about that. For all have sinned and have come short of the glory of God. Let's go to 1 John chapter 3, excuse me. Like I stated earlier, people don't really have an idea what sin is. It's not wearing red lipstick, it's not dancing, it's not drinking, it's not what we deem it to be. At the end of the day, man, if you want to go off what man standards are, we know what trouble. Sin, it'd be so flip-floppy. One day it might be, you sitting in this car. One day it might be you not sitting in the car. It's kind of, man can't see what sin is. 1 John 3, let's read verse 2.
Beloved, now are we the sons of God, and it do not yet appear what we shall be. But we know that when he shall appear, we shall be like him, for we shall see him as he is.
We're fighting to be the sons and daughters of God, man. That's why we're here today, keeping these laws, living within these, I don't want to say constraints, but these guidelines of his life. So when he gets here, we get that body. I don't know about y'all, my back hurting, tired of my knees hurting, tired of everything hurting, tired of going to work in the morning, tired of it. Go ahead.
And every man that have this hope and purifies himself, even as he is pure.
See that though, right? So you have hope to get this body. You have this hope to be like the Lord, how he is. He supposed to purify your body. In other words, you get this iniquity out. Whatever you're struggling with, deal with it. And we're going to read that earlier, but understand that I don't know when I'm going to die. You don't know when, nobody knows when they're going to die. So that one moment you decide to, I'm taking vacation. I'm going to do what I want to do for one day. Well, you don't make it the next day. That's the last thing on the resume. Keep that in mind. Go ahead.
Whosoever committed sin transgresses also the law. For sin is the transgression of the law.
So for sin is the transgression of the law. And this is how you know it's Satan crap. What's the one way I can get a mass of people to stop serving God? Put it in their mind that you ain't got to keep the law anymore. You get that circulating. Hey, I keep the law, and I'm getting rational, and I get my past, present, future sins, and I get paid. Oh man, I'm cool. Here we come, the legalists saying you do got to keep this law. Something wrong with us. We in the cold. Yeah, we in the cold, worship the devil. How? I don't know. Let's show you how backwards the world is. Whosoever committed sin transgressed also the law. For sin is the transgression of the law. Let's go to Psalms 5. So sin is transgression of the law. So everything that you can find written from Genesis to Malachi, that is law. That's right. And I had like these debates for myself, conversations, kind of on some, how do you just X out almost 90% what God did, right? Don't even turn to that side of the book. But how you start dealing with God? We got this Bible here that the only basis we have to connect with God. And in that same aspect, you don't want to do what he say. But then turn around and call yourself worshiping the Lord. That's kind of like, think about it. You being a son or daughter, you having a son or daughter. They come with you, Dad, I ain't nothing to say. I love you though. Nothing to say.
Yeah.
Negro, look here. Don't work like that. So if you would get mad if your child comes to you, starts telling you their specifications to live in your house, they start telling you what they're not going to do. They start telling you, I'm going to do this instead. You got a problem with it, right?
Right.
But all of a sudden, God ain't got a problem with it. He cool. He flexible. He get an idea.
I know that's right.
So Psalms 5, we're going to read verse 6. Psalms 5 and read verse 4. We're going to see that the Lord ain't playing with sin. When it's all said and done, it's going to catch up to you. You ain't going to escape it. So Psalms 5 and verse 4.
But thou art not a God that hath pleasure in wickedness,
Uh-huh.
neither shall evil dwell with thee.
I thought I could come to you and say, I am. You can't.
They cannot.
This is here for you to look and see, okay, this is who I got to clean up. This is who I got to correct. And you correct it. You can come to God initially, but you won't have to make change somewhere down the line. For thou art not a God that hath pleasure in wickedness, neither shall evil dwell with thee. And even that, you can read stuff out of the Old Testament about future events, but the common narrative is, oh, that's that Old Testament. That's that Old Testament God. He ain't like that no more. Not knowing that I can find something in the New Testament that say the same exact thing. The same exact thing. Keep going.
The foolish shall not stand in thy sight. Thou hatest all workers of iniquity.
And you see that God even hates. What does he hate? All workers of iniquity, or sin, or wickedness. The foolish shall not stand in thy sight. Thou hatest all workers of iniquity. So you think you about to be 30, 40, 50 years of sin and transgressing the law, that you're going to be dancing in the kingdom with the Father and the Son? No, not going to fly. And it's the preacher's job to tell you that. Matter of fact, it's everybody in this room to let the world know the God that you've been taught growing up, he don't exist. He don't exist, he ain't real. But the God's Bible is commanding you to follow his standard of living. It's not an option.
Right.
Go ahead and read verse 6.
Thou shalt destroy them that speak leasing. The Lord will abhor bloody and deceitful men.
So it says again in the same chapter, 2 times, the Lord says he hates all workers of iniquity. Then he says he's going to destroy them that speak leasing. And the Lord abhors or hates a bloody and deceitful man. So from here, we tell God and sin don't go hand in hand, does it?
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to Proverbs 6. That's a hard pill to swallow for some people when you tell them, man, look, God ain't a lover of everything like we've been taught.
Right.
Don't get me wrong, I definitely want to get the kingdom, but it's that like fire that motivate me.
Ooh, that's right.
Stay on the track.
Yes,
The Proverbs 16, let's read Proverbs 6. I'm sorry. Proverbs 6 and verse 16.
These things do the Lord hate.
Mm-hmm.
Yea, 7 are an abomination unto him.
So it says these 6 things the Lord hate. And yeah, 7 are an abomination unto him. So that's crazy. 6 things he hate. 7 of them are an abomination. It's the same word he used for you eating pork.
Mm-hmm.
The same word he used for a man sleeping with a man. Abomination. What else?
Mm-hmm.
A proud look.
Proud looks. You just walk around like you that dude. You that girl. Right? Like Cardi B. Man, I cannot stand
Mm-hmm.
Cardi B. And on top of that, I can stand the support she gets. Like she does some of the most unholy stuff like a woman is concerned, and women give her the most support. I'll say worldly, man, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Worldly women give her the most support. How you on Facebook with a husband and 2 children, and you just got everything out? And it was the people supporting. Yeah, I see you, girl. Do what you gonna do. Like, you serious?
Mm-hmm.
And then we was talking earlier about the Aisha Curry thing, and it's really on some. All I'm gonna say is let Steph say what she said. They would have jumped on her. Y'all know what she said, right? Yes, basically she was like, after having kids and stuff, she doesn't feel pretty because men don't try to talk to her or give her
Right.
attention. So like male validation.
Mm-hmm.
And even that was supported for the most part by a lot of females and whatnot. But it goes hand. It wasn't a big deal. It wasn't. But the fact that she went public with it
Right.
was a thing. And then really on some let her husband would have said that. It would have been a whole different conversation. But besides the point. Read the verse again for me.
A proud look.
Uh-huh.
A lying tongue.
Lying tongue. God hates a liar. He tells you, I think Revelation 22, you're going to have your part in the lake of fire of lying. Going back to watch what you say. What else?
And hands that shed innocent
So
blood.
you just out here killing people. No reason whatsoever. What else?
and heart that devises wicked imaginations.
You just wake up. What evil can I do today? How can I get somebody involved? What can I steal? Who can I just mess up? Lord don't like that. What else?
Feet that be swift and running to mischief.
So it's feet that run to mischief. You a fight break out. You first one on World Star with him. Look at that. Like, man, look, God ain't rocking with that. What else?
A false witness that speaketh lies, and he that sowed discord among brethren.
So like you and some things ain't that big deal. That is. It says a false witness that speaketh lies, and he that soweth discord among brethren. So if I come up in here, I'm hey brother Shy, you know Vince said you can whoop me, right? And I go to brother Amir, hey brother Harry said you ain't nothing, man. I'm just sowing discord, causing issues, because it's fun to me. God said He hates or He abhors that. It's abomination. So keep that in mind.
Wow.
Let's go to 1 Kings 14. And we'll get an example of what sin leads to. We were talking about it earlier, man. You would think like within the walls of the church would be the second place where you get the most peace outside of your house.
Right.
But then again, we can't be surprised because where the Lord cast out the first devil? In the church.
In the church.
In the church. So 1 Kings 14. 'Cause at this point, you know, the kingdom's been passed over to Jeroboam. Because Solomon, he heired. So Israel, they had a wicked king upon wicked kings, couldn't get right. Judah had a good set of kings before they started to err. So Jeroboam, he was worried that everybody was going to start flocking towards Judah. What he did was he set up 2 golden calves and placed them. You ain't gonna go down to Jerusalem. Man, I got these guys right here. What you gonna do? And like Israel, we fell for it, right? So we're gonna dish out punishment for that. The 1 Kings 14, and let's pick it up at verse 1.
At that time, Abijah, the son of Jeroboam, fell sick. And Jeroboam said to his wife, Arise, I pray thee, and disguise thyself, that thou be not known to be the wife of Jeroboam, and get thee to Shiloh. Behold, there is Ahijah the prophet, which told me that I should be king over this people. And take with thee 10 loaves and cracknels, and a curse of honey, and go to him. He shall tell thee what shall become of the child.
So now, the child of Jeroboam fell sick, so he's gonna seek counsel. You know what he need to do. Skip down to verse 7 and read that.
Go, tell Jeroboam, thus said the Lord God of Israel, forasmuch as I exalted thee from among the people, and made thee prince over my people Israel.
That's right.
And rent the kingdom away from the house of David, and gave it thee. And yet thou hast not been as my servant David, who's kept my commandments.
So man, look, I done gave you the kingdom, I rented it from David, I did all this stuff, and you ain't been like David was. David was a man before God's heart. I tell you that. You ain't been keeping the commandments by doing what?
And who followed me with all his heart, to do that only which was right in mine eyes. But has done evil above all that were before thee. But thou hast gone and made the other gods.
So for thou hast gone and made the other gods. He's addressing it straight up. Like, look, bro, I did this. You done messed around, made other gods. What else?
And molten images, to provoke me to anger.
To love.
To anger.
That you done this, you created other gods, and then you set them up, you don't cause Israel to err, you provoke me to anger. What's he gonna do?
And hast cast me behind thy back. Therefore, behold, I will bring evil upon the house of Jeroboam.
So now, again, that's what I said earlier, you as a man can mess around and jack up your whole family because you stuck on stupid. Let's just be honest, you were stuck on stupid. You did something continuously. So it says, therefore, behold, he didn't say, I'm bringing evil upon you. He said, I'm bringing evil upon the house of Jeroboam. What else?
It will cut off from Jeroboam him that pisseth against the wall, and him that is shut up and left in Israel, and will take away the remnant of the house of Jeroboam, as a man taketh away during till it be all gone.
So he said, I'm going to destroy your house. I'm going to take away anything you got. So now the descendants got to suffer for what Jeroboam did. All because you set up 2 golden calves because you were afraid that they gonna flock towards the house of Judah. What else?
Him that dieth of Jeroboam in the city shall the dogs eat.
Mm-hmm.
Him that dieth in the field shall the fowls of the air eat. For the Lord has spoken.
He can't even get a proper burial.
Oh, it's hard.
What else?
Arise thou therefore, get thee to thine own house, and when thy feet enter into the city, the child shall die.
Now, thanks to your ignorance, thanks to you being not upholding your kingship or your duties, that sick child that you had, when you step foot back in your city, the child will die. Like I said earlier, like I do not want you to get caught in sin. I don't want to get caught messing up.
Yeah.
The Lord might skip over me and touch my wife. He might touch my children. And what can I do? Be mad at God? I can't. I gotta sit there and take it. But sit there, I gotta take it and sit there knowing like if I ain't do what I did, this probably would have happened. Read verse. We good on that. So yeah, so this man, look, when the Lord say I'm gonna punish you for your iniquity, it's not a joke. And you have grace now, but even this hyper grace that's being taught, it's a dangerous doctrine. You got people out here asleep. I got grace, I can do as I choose, I can do as I please, because there ain't no immediate punishment for it.
Right.
So, all right, cool. And for us, who know better, mess around and try grace if you want to.
You ain't
Try
lying.
grace if you want to. Let's go to Mark 9. This is how you have to know that most people are not reading their Bibles. Because even if you're going to read in the New Testament, you're going to come across multiple verses that tell you, you just can't be out here sinning all willy-nilly. So Mark chapter 9, we're going to see what the Lord, out of his own mouth, going to tell his disciples to do and ultimately what we all have to do. Mark 9 and verse 43. Go ahead and pick it up.
If thy hand offend thee, cut it off.
Uh-huh.
It is better for thee to enter into life maimed than having 2 hands go into hell, into the fire that never shall be quenched.
I've been reading this at like 21. This ain't know nothing about the word. So I got a little amplified Bible. I'm reading it. Hand off. I was like, I don't know what that got. I don't know. I need my hand now. I ain't gonna mess up. So I'll mess up. Look at my hand. Nope, I'll do it. Try again next time. But he's not talking about you literally cutting off your hand. What's that gonna benefit? You might even kill yourself if you hit the wrong nerve or whatever. But
I ain't lying.
he's saying, whatever, if your hand offends thee, cut it off. In other words, whatever problem you got going on, fornication, lying, adultery, you can't control what you put in your mouth, whatever it is, deal with it. I ain't talking about deal with it as in, I'll deal with it next month. Deal with it like now, today, if you can. What else?
Yes, sir.
Where their warm dieth not, and the fire is not quenched.
Like I said earlier, if you're not motivated by the lake of fire, I'm talking about unquenchable fire, on top of that, a worm is eating on you for all eternity, ain't much gonna get you amped up for nothing. It says, and if the hand of thee cut it off, it is better for you to enter into life maimed than having 2 hands to go into hell, into the fire, which I never be quenched, for the worm dieth not, and the fire is not quenched. And notice how it's called a lake of fire. The lake ain't that big. For all we know, it can be space between me and this podium just for all eternity. So you cramp, you're hot, and you ain't on. I don't know about y'all. I don't want it.
I
What else?
ain't lying.
What
Shoot.
And if thy foot offend thee, cut it off.
Mhm.
It is better for thee to enter halt into life than having 2 feet to be cast into hell,
Uh-huh.
into the fire that never shall be quenched.
That's right.
Where the worm dieth not, and the fire is not quenched.
But notice how Jesus is pretty much, I don't want to say repeating, but he's making a point. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Whatever you got problem, whatever problem you have, deal with it. However you can. And I'm going to give you the tools what you need, but deal with that problem. Because it might start off small. Yeah, I got a problem with another one. Okay, fine. That's no big deal. Next, 2 months down the line, now you ain't talking to other women. You married now. No, I'm talking to other women. That ain't no problem. Just flirting with you. 8 months down the line, you done found one you like. Exchange numbers and did all the stuff you're supposed to do. We friends. No, come on now. Be smart. We friends. Ain't nothing wrong with it. We work together. A year down the line, you done mess around and cheated on your wife. all because you couldn't stop it at the problem of just looking. Or you an alcoholic. Right? Drink ain't gonna hurt before work. Cool. And you just be throwing them back before you go to work drunk, lost your job. How you gonna do this now? Now you got a reputation. Oh yeah, brother, that's him. Nah, you can get alcoholic. You can't work drunk all the time. How you gonna get a job now? All because you couldn't control yourself with your alcohol. I gotta fix that problem. What up?
And if thine eyes offend thee, pluck it out.
Uh-huh.
It is better for thee to enter into the kingdom of God with one eye
Mhm.
than have 2 eyes to be cast into the hellfire.
Verse 48.
Where their worm dieth not, and the fire is not quenched.
So he said it 3 times. One thing, unquenchable fire, the worm dieth not. Unquenchable fire, where the worm dieth not. Just listening to it sounds scary. So imagine just being in there. Matter of fact, I only want y'all to imagine. Dang, what's happening? Let's go to Psalms 19. Psalms 19, because the very thing that you need to correct yourself is what the world is done away with. Because it's too many of them, too hard. It's not perfect. That was for the Jews. Psalm 19, verse 7. And it is amazing. It's kind of also what's hard about doing this. Psalms 19, verse 7. Go ahead.
The law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul.
So the law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul. Ain't no faults, ain't no impurities, ain't nothing wrong with these laws. Because they're tailored and designed for you to pretty much keep your life in check. And it says converting the soul. So if you want to start changing in regards to this mind, you just can't wake up and be like, okay, I'm going to be a good person by the world standards. The world standards, you would say you can be another man. The world standards are trying to teach LGBTQ history in the school. You can't go by the world standards. The law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul, what?
The testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple.
So the testimony of the Lord is sure. You ain't got to question it, you ain't got to be faulty about it, and it says, make wise the simple. And I always say, y'all watch my wife and kids, right? If Junior start dealing with this word, he might mess around and become wise. That's what the word can do for you. 3 verse 8.
The statutes of the Lord are right, rejoicing the heart.
Uh-huh.
The commandments of the Lord is pure, enlightening the eyes.
The Lord's statutes are right, rejoicing the heart. It should make you happy to keep these laws. It shouldn't be grievous. Oh, I gotta keep the Sabbath today. You got nothing else to do. Clean your car, wash your clothes. That stuff ain't fun. It's not fun to me.
It ain't gonna be.
Right? So the statutes of the Lord are right, rejoicing the heart. The commandment of the Lord is pure, enlightening the eyes. And I don't know about y'all, but it's an enlightenment. Now you can walk out here and be like, yo, what's the world really doing out here? You see a lot of error, you see a lot of wickedness. But the law enlightens your eyes to that. What else?
The fear of the Lord is clean, enduring forever.
No, just until Jesus died on the cross.
Not forever.
Until Paul started preaching.
Forever.
Forever. The fear of the Lord is clean, enduring forever. If you don't fear the Lord, you ain't getting this wisdom. The fear of the Lord is what?
Beginning to
The
live.
beginning of wisdom. So you want to start understanding, you're going to start fearing God. Do it now, or you're going to do it later. What else?
The judgments of the Lord are true and righteous altogether.
Uh-huh.
More to be desired are they than gold.
That's right.
Yea, than much fine gold.
Mm-hmm.
Sweeter also than honey in the honeycomb.
So above all things in this world, you're supposed to desire the word of God. Meditate day and night on it. What else?
Moreover, by them is thy servant warned.
How so? Because you can look and say, all right, cool. The Lord says, be ye holy for I am holy. That involves me not eating these particular things. I just not going to do it. The Sabbath day is, for a perpetual covenant without my generations. All right, cool. I'm keeping the Sabbath. The Lord said I had no other gods before me. I ain't going to do that. You are warned. So when it's all said and done, and you judge the day, and the Lord's going through the book, there ain't going to be no, oh, I didn't know. All right, you knew. I sent somebody to tell you. You got social media, you got Google, you have all these different tools. Moreover, by them is thy servant warned, and what?
And keeping of them is great reward.
So now hold on, the law was hard. I thought the law couldn't be done. I thought the law was done away with. And keeping was a great reward. What are we talking about? You walking in that kingdom, escaping unquenchable fire, and a worm that died not. Read verse 13.
Keep that thy servant also from presumptuous.
So keep us back from presumptuous sins or the things of, oh, man, God knows my situation. God, man, I got to work on the Sabbath. I ain't got no money. I got to pay my bills. Like, don't do that. presumptuous sins or assuming God got you. He got to understand. God understands you should have been at church today. You can understand that. On top of that, think about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They had a situation.
Yes, sir.
They said, man, look, don't waste your time. Just go ahead and toss. Do what you got to do. We ain't bound down, though.
Right.
Keep going.
Let them not have dominion over me. Then shall I be upright,
Mhm.
and I shall be innocent from the great transgression.
So, yeah, don't have presumptuous sins, have dominion over you. So don't be sitting begging excuses to why you got to break the law.
Right.
And you should be innocent from transgression. Let's go to James 1. I tried one time, y'all. As I first came to the Word and I learned about Sabbath, and I just got this basketball coordinator job, so it's paid me $10,000 for 3 months just to work at a church. And so the job started, the season ain't started, so I wasn't working on the weekends. And I found about the Sabbath, and I was like, I started keeping it a little bit. I was like, okay, I got a choice to make. So I love this 10G, serve God, or I just going along, man, we'll not just start Saturday, need to be alright. So I was up one night, man, what do I really need to do? So I go to church the next day. JD happened to teach a class on Sabbath, and he said like 2 things that I was like, yep, I already know. He was like, 1, you gonna sell your soul for money, and 2, break the Sabbath if you want to. See what happens. And in that, I was like, man, you know what? I got my answer. Again, I go home, just laying in bed. I'm like, about 2 in the morning. I said, babe, I'm gonna quit that job. She was like, okay, cool. But what if I did? I would sold my soul for what, $10,000? And probably felt bad in the process. That's how I know this was Lord though. I went, I emailed, I ain't gonna do it. Then I'm walking down the hall of my other job one day. The director was like, man, you get in the PE program, we wanna hire you for the job. Word. Oh, I'm like, man, that was God, y'all. So what if I took that job? Lord, you don't need it. God, you that better opportunity is to the side. So keep saying for presumptuous sins, like don't fall to the thing of God know my situation. We all got situations.
Right.
And you're gonna keep having them, especially if you're Hebrew or dealing with one in some way, shape, or form.
Right.
So James 1, let's read verse 12.
Blessed is the man that endured temptation.
Mm-hmm.
For when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life,
Mm-hmm.
which the Lord hath promised to them that love him.
And this goes there what Julius was teaching last week. So you blessed if you endure a temptation. You gonna get tried. The Lord gotta make sure you really about this thing. It might come from family, it might come from friends, it might come from a job, it might come from the least expected or the most expected. Yes, you expected to get through it. It says, blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Lord hath promised to them that love him. You look at the life of Jesus, right? He came, he got baptized, he was consistently tried. Satan tried to get him, didn't fall for that. The scribes and Pharisees tried to trip him up, didn't do for that. Then he died. He did what he had to do. So Lord got tried, definitely gonna catch some of these spiritual hands out here. Somewhere. Keep going.
Let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of God.
Uh-huh.
For God cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempted he any man.
So man, when you're going through some situations, especially with evil, don't sit here and say, Lord's tempted me with this woman. Nah, bro. God ain't doing that. You tempted you with that woman. And I put this in here because I hate the excuse of, man, Satan made me do this today. Satan can't make you do anything. He can't. All you can do is put it out there for you. Let no man say, let no man say, when he is tempted, I am tempted of God. For God cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempted he any man. So God ain't the one as far as him being there tempting you. Hey, Brother Justin, go talk to that girl. They ain't the Lord. He wants Satan to do that though. What else?
But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust and enticed.
So you are tempted when you drawn of your own lust and you enticed. So if they know you messed around with your wife, they know I accidentally did it. No, that was calculated. You had to plan your wife's schedule and her schedule for some sort of way to make that work. When you steal something from your job and you accidentally steal, you planned it in some way, shape, or form what you gonna do. Because you enticed for your own lust. Read verse 15.
Then when lust hath conceived, it brings forth sin.
So when lust has conceived, when you it starts a thought first. Man, I could watch my Target on Saturday. Who really gonna know? Then you sit at then you don't skip class. My Target is playing. You know, I can skip class and they go to Target. You know, call and check on me. You think about it. Yeah, no one's really gonna call and check on me. I can do this. And then, I'm at home watching my Target play on the Sabbath. Started as a thought, manifested. Now I'm here. First of all, have my own pleasure watching my Target play, and I broke the Sabbath. So I done sat there and thought about it. And again, what's a little leaven what? Satan don't need this much. Slide up in the mental DMs and get you tripping. Read that again.
Then when lust hath conceived, it brings forth sin.
Mm-hmm.
And sin, when it is finished, brings forth death.
So, all right. So it's off of your own lust. Once you sin, it's gonna bring forth death. Let's go to 1 Corinthians 10. We got a few more. Save a little time. We'll read one verse here, but it says, it goes into the wilderness and how, they were idolatry, they were griping, they were whining, they were doing all these things that displeased God, and He took them out in the wilderness. And we know Jesus Christ saying yesterday, today, and forever, so He don't change.
Mm-hmm.
So if He dealt with that in that manner back then, it's going to be the same way when He gets back. Let's read verse 12. Because verse 11 talks about how those were examples for us. So we're supposed to go back and look what happened and say, okay, cool. They're not murmuring. God taking care of my bills, and I may not have wiggle money, but my bills are paid though. I got somewhere to stay, my kids are good. Let me be cool with that. Read verse 12. Yeah, 1 Corinthians 10, verse 12.
Wherefore let him that thinketh he standeth take heed lest he fall.
So don't be out here Superman chest puffed out like you got salvation. We ain't got nothing until you got that spiritual body and you can walk through the wall and walk back. If you can't do that, you ain't saved. Right? And at any given time, you can fall. Like I've seen it happen. I'm pretty sure we've seen it happen. You hear one day, next thing you know, something happened. You done fell off the wagon. Somebody fell off the wagon. And be people in the word too, which is crazy. Right? And when I'm talking about fall off the wagon, you don't went complete doctrine, you talking against elders, you doing all type of nonsense. Wherefore let him take heed, he standeth. Wherefore let him that taketh, he standeth, take heed, lest he fall. So this is for everybody. You have to constantly check yourself to see where you are erring. Because one day you might not have a problem with fornication. You might not have a problem with stealing. You might wake up one day and get desperate. I ain't got no money, let me try to maneuver my way out of this. Now you walk on this path of sin. Read verse 13.
There hath no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man.
But knowing that what Brother Julius has to go through on a regular basis, I might have to too. Solomon went through it. David went through it.
Right.
Noah went through it. There's no temptation that's not common to man. So you can't sit here and say, God's only doing this to me. No. Or Satan's only doing this to me. Sorry, nah. It's been on somebody way before you were here.
But God is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able.
So do you have to sin?
Nope.
You don't. So the Lord ain't gonna let you be, He gonna tempt you or let you be tempted more than what you're able to bear. What's He gonna do?
But will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it.
That's the goodness of God right there. So like whatever you tempted with, it may suck, it may be like in your mind at that time the hardest thing to walk away from. God made the opening for you. You might have to drag yourself there, but it's there. So going back, so if you sin, whose fault is that?
Yours.
It's yours. God made a way for you to get out of it. Let's go to verse Romans 6. We're almost done. Romans 6, verse 1. Again, another famous chapter here. One particular verse, we'll read that. Romans 6 and verse 1. Go ahead.
What shall we say then? Shall we continue in sin that grace may abound? God forbid.
So what shall we say then? Shall we continue with sin or shall we continue to break the law because we have grace? or this I'm there to favor, to get your house in order, to get ready. God forbid. So no, what?
How shall we that are dead to sin live any longer therein?
You were dead to sin. How you gonna continue living? How you gonna call yourself a servant of God? You dead to sin, but you man went out here sinning. I ain't talking to y'all personally, I'm just saying. All right, go ahead.
Know ye not that so many of us as were baptized into Jesus Christ were baptized into his death? Therefore we are buried with him by baptism into death. That like as Christ was raised up from the dead by the glory of the Father, even so we also should walk in newness of life.
God came as a man, he went to the grave, he came of a new being, a spiritual body. Just like you, he's a new person. You or us, myself, we're sinners, we go in that water, we come up, we're supposed to walk in newness of life. You are a new person, you're not that same person you were anymore. So if I got an attitude problem, I'm slowly checking that. If I got a problem, that's just you a punk, you should be getting that done, taken care of. Speak up for yourself. Say what you gotta say. Whatever your problem is, deal with that issue. You an alcoholic, find a way to put that bottle down or decrease it. If you got a problem, you don't know how to treat your wife the right way, the Bible can show you that. And the Bible shows you got a problem, being a father, because you didn't have a father there. That ain't no excuse. The Bible can show you what it is you need. Whatever you're struggling with, the Bible can show you in some way, shape, or form what it is you need. Keep going. Yeah, verse 12.
Let not sin therefore reign in your mortal body, that ye shall obey it in the lust thereof. Yield ye your members as instruments of unrighteousness unto sin.
So first of all, so much for the whole you gotta keep the law, God takes you out here far, you get into the kingdom, all you gotta do is believe. Paul's telling you, don't let no sin even reign in your mortal body. Me, brother, after class, we should be going down Joe's Crab Shack and eating all you can eat buffet of crab legs. We shouldn't be doing that. All right? No. We should be on the beach and me and Brother Bashad in the mirror and Terry after we leave. When we going back home, we on the beach having a party. We shouldn't be doing that. Right? We ain't gonna use our bodies for unrighteousness. Keep going. This is the famous verse right here. Go ahead.
But yield yourself unto God as those that are alive from the dead, and your members as instruments of righteousness unto God. For sin shall not have dominion over you, for ye are not under the law, but under grace.
And see, and this is the verse that goes to where sin shall not have dominion over you, for you are not under the law, but under grace. Praise the Lord, as they say. But understand what Paul is saying, and it's true. You're not under the law. You're not under the penalty of the law. Meaning, you sin on today, you're supposed to die for that. Like today's graduation week or weekend, so everybody's graduating. Imagine if this still wasn't affecting you. Walk across the stage, bam, dead. Everybody there dead today. That's what grace is. The Lord letting you live for that. For sin shall not have dominion over you, for you are not under the law, but under grace. And then they close the book here, but verse 15 going to sum up the matter. Go ahead and read it.
What then? Shall we sin because we are not under the law, but under grace?
What do you say?
God forbid.
So no, you can't break the laws of God because you have grace. How'd that sound though? The reason that God had to come and die is because man continued to sin. So now he died that gruesome death to resurrect, go back to heaven, just to be like, all right, do what you want to do now. It's all taken care of. That makes no sense. That's invalid. Read verse 15. I'm sorry, 16.
Know ye not that to whom ye yield yourself servant to obey, his servants ye are to whom ye obey, whether of sin unto death or of obedience unto righteousness.
So man, look, you make a lifestyle sin, you a servant to sin. And last time I checked, servant above the master. And when I say that is, you a slave to sin. You just don't want to do right, can't get right. But if you are a servant unto righteousness, that's where you're supposed to be at. Skip down to verse 20 and read that.
For when ye were the servant of sin, ye were free from righteousness. What fruit had ye then in those things whereof ye are now ashamed? For the end of those things is death.
So when we were all under sin, we were free from righteousness. And people like, I had a relationship with the Lord, we couldn't have. We were doing what God required of us. And then it says, what fruit had you then in those things where you were now ashamed? For the end of the things was death. So what fruit, what benefit did you have out here in the world? You didn't have any. You thought you did. We didn't. It was fun playing ball or hanging with the homeboys on Saturday playing basketball. That was dope. It was fun going to the hibachi joint and getting all the shrimp on the plate. That was dope. But that fruit that was producing, it was gonna lead me to death. What else?
And now being made free from sin and become servants of God, ye have your fruit unto the holiness, and in the end everlasting life. For the wages of sin is death, but the gift of God is eternal life through Jesus Christ our Lord.
The wages of sin is death. What death we talking about? Second death, that lake of fire. Again, unquenchable fire, worm that died not. And as the Lord is long suffering, He's giving us a chance to get stuff together. But mercy gonna run out. Ecclesiastes 12. Think about it, man. It's like, look at it. I'm sure we pay attention just cause, but we really just look at how the world is. I'm not even gonna steady. I ain't gonna say steady. It is quickly declining.
Yeah.
Declining. You can't turn on the news without murder. Somebody did this. It just happened all over the world. You really think God gonna go on for another 120 plus years? People gonna lose faith. It's happening right now. People, man, this happening. God coming back. The book tells you that. And you start to see that person why people would think that. We ain't got much longer. Things are lining up. And the scary part is people don't even know. So, Ecclesiastes 12 and read verse 13.
Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep His commandments.
Conclusion of the whole matter. You've been a servant of God, a Christian, whatever you want to call it. Your goal is to fear God and keep the commandments. I ain't got to know the Hebrew name. I ain't got to know the prophecies. My goal is to fear God and keep His commandments. And what?
For this is the whole duty of man.
This is your job. Your 9 to 5, we'll say your life to death. This is your job. Fear God, keep the commandments. But why?
For God shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil.
So guess what? You can get nowhere with God. So when the judgment time comes, He's going to bring everything you've done in this life, whether it be good, whether it be evil. Like I always say, I don't know where He's going to start. It could be 12, it could be 10, like you don't know. I told y'all a story about me stealing batteries from Game Boy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I would hate that to be like the scale tipper right there. All because I wanted to play Pokemon at 11 years old. So for God shall bring every work into judgment, whether it every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil. So imagine you'd have been told this whole time you ain't got to keep the law. All you got to do is believe. So you've done everything contrary to law, and then you die. Then you get resurrected, and then it just gets ran down. Everything that you've done in this life. And your excuse is going to be, my pastor said, think about that. My pastor said, I ain't have to do that. Or, I didn't want to read because my pastor said, I ain't have to read the Old Testament. Or, I was a good person, I thought I was okay. And God is going to be like, you know what? You're right. Come on, they ain't going to happen. The Lord going to say, look, the books is open. I done gave you this opportunity. You had the book. You had the scriptures. I done had pastors and teachers out here for you who were teaching the word. You just didn't want it. You're going to stand before God with no excuses. That's for everybody. Let's go to Isaiah 11. The class is what is sin and where does it lead. We established what sin is, and we establish what it leads to death. And we're going to see again, God is not taking it lightly. This is not to scare anybody at all, but from time to time, you need to be reminded. We need to be reminded. So Isaiah 11, and read verse 9. So this is the coming of the Lord. We're going to see what's going to happen.
They shall not hurt nor destroy in all my holy mountains, for the earth shall be full of knowledge of the Lord, of the water covered the sea. And in that day there shall be a root of Jesse, which shall stand for
Hold up. No, I'm sorry, Isaiah 13, verse 9. I'm sorry, y'all. Isaiah 13, verse 9.
Behold, the day of the Lord cometh, cruel both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate,
Mm-hmm.
and he shall destroy the sinner thereof out of
You're gonna rapture the sinners out.
Sure.
He said he's gonna destroy the sinners that are in the land. And you can read that in I think First, Second Thessalonians, if I'm not mistaken. You read about it. Ecclesiastes 6, you can read about it. Joel chapter 3, you read about all these different places telling you how the Lord will come back and handle his business for people who refuse to hear the law or don't want to deal with it. Read verse 11.
And I will punish the world for their evil,
Mhm.
and the wicked for their iniquity.
So on his agenda, so I'm gonna punish the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity. You've been messing around all this time. The Lord's been long suffering, not wanting any man to perish. But at the end of the day, there's got to be an ending point. And I will punish the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity. What else?
And I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible.
And then the Lord said, I'm gonna make man more rare than fine over gold. A lot of people walk around. Go to Revelation 20. We got 2 more places. Revelation 20, this is read about this great throne of judgment. 'Cause again, we read that Ecclesiastes that says, you're going to be, all your works will be brought up good and evil. This is when this is going to happen. Go ahead and read verse 4.
And saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Jesus, and for the word of God, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their forehead or in their hand. And they lived and reigned with Christ 1,000 years.
So you see what it's got to take, right? For serving God. Potentially, that's what the Lord says, be able unto death. You might be for the word of God if you don't make it to the wilderness. And as scary as that is, as like hard as that to fathom and understand the concept, it still needs to be put out there. People think, you walk this walk with God, it's gonna be easy, it's gonna be cool, you ain't gotta suffer nothing. It says, beheaded for the word of God. Swing.
Off his head.
Oh. And we talking with the brothers about, the worst ways to die. And I was like, man, I'd rather just put me on the guillotine. Just get it over with. There are worse ways to die. We'll talk about that on camera. There are worse ways to die. And I was like, man, like buried alive or something.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Buried alive or something. But matter of fact, we'll talk somewhere. It started the conversation with me and Rashad like months ago. And then Amir got into it too. So we're talking about ways how this thing could possibly happen. We're talking about some worst ways, being burned alive, buried alive, crucified. Those are 3 ways. I was like, man, out of those 3 ways, I'd rather just be buried alive. And we started doing research. Like, and he's throwing the furnace like 5 minutes. It's gonna be 5 minutes. It's gonna be a long 5 minutes. But 5 minutes. Buried alive, about 5.5 hours. If you struggle, about 2.5. I was like, okay, I can do that. Crucifixion can take days.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, days. And I was like, yeah, listen, don't want to go that route. But if I had a choice, just go on the guillotine and just be done with it. Not to scare y'all though. That's verse 5.
But the rest of the dead live not again until the 1,000 years finish. This is the first resurrection.
First resurrection is what we're all shooting for. That's why we put in the work now to get this done. And I'm sure y'all feel the same way. I'd rather give up this life now and all the vanities and all the mess that looks fun on the surface to be here, this first resurrection. Why is that?
Blessed and holy is he that hath part in the first resurrection. On such the second death has no power, but they shall be priests of God and of Christ, and shall reign with him 1,000 years.
So blessed and holy is the person who makes the first resurrection, but you ain't gotta worry about the lake of fire. Good. You've been officially saved, sanctified. All that stuff you can say. What else? Let's get down to verse 11, read that.
And I saw a great white throne, and him that sat on it, from whose face the earth and the heavens fled away, and there was found no place for them.
Because at this point, 1,000 years is over, Satan's in the fire now, and now we're going to the white throne judgment, to where you didn't get resurrected in the first resurrection, you're resurrected now, and your works are being decided. Go ahead.
And I saw the dead, small and great, stand before God, and the books were open, and another book was open,
Mm-hmm.
which is the book of life. And the dead were judged out of those things which were written in the books according to their works.
That's scary. You don't know what's on that record whatsoever. And we can't sit here and say that everybody's going in. If that's the case, they're going to need to have the judgment. Some might make it in, but again, based off your works. Why take that chance? You do it now. That's why it tells you in Acts. It's a fearful thing that falls into the hands of the living God. And it truly is. Keep going.
And the sea gave up the dead which were in it,
Mm-hmm.
and death and hell delivered up the dead which were in them. And they were judged every man according to their works.
That's right.
And death and hell were cast into the lakes of fire. This is the second death.
So now, so the sea gave the dead which were in it, hell, so the sea, the grave, wherever you die at, you're brought back. You got to stand before God. What else?
And whosoever was not found written in the book of life is cast into the lake of fire.
So now, if your name wasn't found written in the book of life, cast it like a fire. Your good did not outweigh your bad. That's the issue. And at that point, that's it. There is no second chance. There is no, let me get a redo. That's life. So now, why do you want to take that opportunity or take that chance to a God like that? Let's go to Ecclesiastes 9, the last place. Yeah, it's a reminder for everybody, myself included, that you get comfortable sometimes in this walk. Ecclesiastes 9, we're going to read verse 12 first, and then we'll go back up to verse 4. Ecclesiastes 9, verse 12, verse 4. And having said all that, this is why it's important to continually check yourself. Go ahead.
For man also knoweth not his time.
Uh-huh.
As the fishes that are taken in an evil net,
Mhm.
and as the birds that are caught in the snare, so are the sons of men snared in an evil time. When they fall suddenly upon them.
So you're going to make get right, stay right. You don't know when you're going to die. Matter of fact, what if man just had on a contract? All right, Justin Williams, you're born such and such, you're going to die April 19, 2045. Okay, cool. So I'm going to turn to 2044. 2045, I'm going to get right. I'm going to get right. That's probably what man would do too. Just live whoever sin life they want, and then that last shit, like, yeah, let me go ahead and get my life right with God. So again, you gonna know your time. Just so as a fish is swimming one day, caught up in the net. Now they have the crab shack, getting ready to serve. And so are the sons of men in that evil time. It just happens. You think Nipsey Hussle playing the that day? He didn't.
Yeah.
You think Martin Luther King playing that day? They didn't. It happens. So being that you don't know your day, let's stay ready. Stay ready so you gotta get ready. Stay ready. Go ahead and read verse 4, and this will be it.
For to whom that is joined to all the living there.
I'm sorry, not verse 4. Read verse 8.
Let thy garments be always white.
Let that garments always be white. Keep them babies clean. In other words, stay sinless as possible. Are you gonna fall sometimes? Yeah, definitely gonna fall. It's hard not to. But when you fall, get up. Keep it pushing, ask for forgiveness, take the punishment if it comes, and just keep walking this thing out. What else?
And let thy head lack no ointment.
We out here protect. So let thy garments be always white, and let thy head lack no ointment. Like I said, stay ready, so you gotta get ready. That being said, what is sin? Where does it lead? I pray so I got somebody standing in Jesus' name. Peace. So, we don't have the announcement sheet. Hope I understand what like on today's lesson. DVDs and CDs will be made ready at the podium. If you want one, let us know. If you want to get baptized, speak to Brother Tony, Brother Anthony. Bible in Plainview airs every first Sunday of the month. If you need some help, let us know. Tithes and free will offerings should be offered at the back. Make sure your clothes aren't overly baggy, nothing too tight or revealing. Hair cover should be worn by women, according to 1 Corinthians 11, verse 7 through 11. If you got noisy kids, bring them next door. Pray for us, I pray for you. In Jesus' name, peace.
Peace.
All right. I do want to say, man, just like as a just as a person, I'm proud of what I've been seeing from this congregation, and seeing this guy like 1,000 lessons a week, which is good, which is really good. And, Julius, he held down the fort last week, and then y'all just like Florida just seeming to grow, so definitely proud of what's taking place here. Pray for people. Pray for people, pray for myself. And that's it, man. It's coming down to the wire. It's easy to slip up. It kind of seems like Satan trying to pluck who he can pluck. And it's working at an alarming rate, unfortunately. So then just stay in contact. If y'all need help, I'm trying better with being accessible. I just don't like calling people. Not because I don't like anybody, it's just I got a problem. So we're gonna eat, we're gonna close out, we'll fellowship, we'll do what we do. And Q&A will start at what's it like 3:30, 3:45?
Our Father which art in heaven,
Our Father which art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name.
hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come,
Thy kingdom come,
thy will be done in earth,
thy will be done on earth
as it is in heaven.
as it is in heaven.
Give us this day our daily bread,
Give us this day our daily bread,
and forgive us our debts,
and forgive us our debts,
as we forgive our debtors.
as we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not into temptation,
And lead us not into temptation,
but deliver us from evil.
but deliver us from evil.
For thine is the kingdom,
Thine is the kingdom,
and the power,
and the power,
and the glory,
and the glory,
forever.
forever.
Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord.
For he is good.
He is good.
And his mercy endures forever.
And his mercy endures forever.
Praise the Lord God of Israel.
Praise the Lord God of
For
Israel.
he is good.
For he is good.
And his mercy endures
And
forever.
his mercy endures forever.
In Jesus' name we pray.
In Jesus' name we pray.
The Holy One of Israel.
The Holy One of Israel.
The King of Kings.
The King of Kings.
The Lord of Lords.
The Lord of Lords.
The one true God.
The one true God.
There is no other.
There is no other.
Amen.
Amen.
The Lord bless thee and keep thee.
The Lord bless thee and keep thee.
The Lord make his face shine upon thee.
The Lord make his face shine upon thee.
And be gracious unto thee.
And be gracious unto thee.
The Lord lift his countenance upon thee.
The Lord lift up his countenance upon thee.
And give thee peace.
And give thee peace.
They shall put my name upon the children of Israel.
They shall put my name upon the children of
I
Israel.
will bless them.
And I will bless them.
Hallelujah.
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 In Jesus' name.
In Jesus' name.